Hey everybody, welcome to episode 15, the Christmas... No, I fucked it up. Hold on, let me take that again.
Wow, holy shit.
You fucker.
You better know that this is going at the end of the podcast now.
Fuck you. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 15 of Burn Down the Sandcast, the Fistmas Spectacular. It's your boy Miko, aka Alex, aka the original Yiffmeister, and we're trying something a little different this time, but first, who's with me today?
I feel like you almost fucked it up again, and it's Mike
I
here,
will kill you out loud with my mouth.
AKA at Rick Rolls Royce on Twitter, and I'm capable of saying the word Fistmas without pausing. Who else do we have?
Are you?
I just did it, so...
Oh, yeah, you did. Hi, it's the Game Bun. I'm Marky Mark at the Funky Bunch. You can find me at your local Walmart for like 99 cents. Please buy me.
That sounds like a... Look, I'm questioning the quality of the materials you are made of.
So are you no longer available at dollar stores now?
I mean, it depends. You might find bootlegs of myself. It'll be called Mac.
The genuine article is a Walmart branded item now. Is what you're
Only at Walmart, next to the WWE DVDs.
Oh no!
Look, man, Chaperone's a good movie.
So let me just kind of break down what this episode's going to be. So I floated the idea of, do we want to do a Game of the Year episode? And then everybody was like, what if we went broader than that? And that seemed like a good idea. So now this is kind of whatever of the year. And we're kind of out here doing it.
Yeah, we were like, hey, you know what would be not fun? Arguing over which game has an arbitrary title. So instead, let's just talk about the things that we liked from this year.
Are you telling me this game that you hate is not Game of the Year? Or this game that he likes is not Game of the Year?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you why Dota 2 is Game of the Year.
Let me tell you why Sonic Mania is not Game of the Year.
Let me tell you
why Sonic Forces is not Game of the Year.
You don't need to.
But so before we get into that whole discussion, I want to do a real quick round of how was your week? So how was everybody's week?
I had a week. My week was pretty bad. I was super busy because my dog got really, really sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's okay now. We don't know exactly why or what particularly was the problem. It either could have been she just got a cold because she's been out in the cold and it's fucking really cold out and snowing all the time now. Or it could have been she got bit by a tick and it was definitely on her for like an entire day at least because it was super engorged when I found it, and then we took it off. Or it could have been just related to her. She has like some a slip disc in her back, but regardless, it resulted in her having like a fever. And I don't know if you've ever like dealt with a dog on fever before, but boy, does it suck because you can't really do anything for them. Like, basically what you can do is make them drink water and put, like, a wet, cold cloth, kind of, like, on the part of their ears that doesn't have fur on it. Like, kind of, like, not, like, on the inside, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, underneath their ear. And then on their paw pads. But that's basically all you can do. So they're just, like, suffering, and it sucks. I was basically up until 6 in the morning, 2 nights in a row, dealing with that.
But she... bad?
It was bad, but she got antibiotics. They took blood to like try to figure out what it was, but they didn't necessarily figure it out, it seems like. Mm-hmm. But they gave her antibiotics, and we upped the medication she already takes for her back, and she got better. So,
okay,
no more fever, walking around fine now. But that was stressful. But other than that, it was okay. It wasn't a terrible week.
It's not bad. Same week as usual. Homework in my throat. God, cut this out, please.
No, now that you said that, I'm definitely keeping it in.
Well, have fun, viewers. You can blame Mike for that one. Anyway, I had a pretty average week, just doing homework, more like regular work. But I took my dad to the movies on Tuesday.
Oh,
so we had a discussion
to that movie.
Yeah, that movie. Because, they had a Spanish showing at 4:45.
Tell us the name of that movie again.
El Coco.
And you will have more to say about that later, apparently, as well.
Yeah. I mean, I talked about it at least last week. Well, last episode.
But, you know,
that episode's not going up till 2019. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair. It'll be at the same time Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
That'll be out the same time the Final Fantasy VII remake comes out.
Oh, that's even... It'll be out whenever Square Enix game comes out. So... Anyway, yeah, I took him to the movies. I won, like... I got him shoes for Christmas. I figured I could probably do a bit more. So I say, let's go to the movies. I'll pay for the tickets. And I took him, his girlfriend, and her kid. Like, that's fine.
I'm not gonna lie, shoes are not cheap, so that's pretty nice.
Well,
anyway,
the shoes he wanted were like $90, so yeah, they were not cheap.
No kidding.
But I want at least take him to something nice, and they rarely ever do Spanish dubs,
right?
For movies, so like he likes them to watch them in Spanish. I'll take it. I'll take them even if I don't understand what the fuck they're saying.
Understandable. Sure.
Yeah, cool.
And that was pretty much it. Because again, homework sucks.
Yeah,
all right.
I heard.
Okay, so I had a week.
Yeah?
Yeah, so let me break it down for you. So, first of all, the office I work at, we had our Christmas party for our department.
Everybody's having those lately. Hey, wait, can I ask you a weird question?
Yeah, sure.
Did you have a cookie contest at your office?
No, what we did do was we went out for a luncheon at a restaurant in Vernon. And we did White Elephant, where everybody goes, like, you take a number, everybody brings in a gift, you put it on a table, everybody takes a number and goes opens a gift, and then if you want, you can steal a gift instead of opening a gift.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so...
bad Secret Santa, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not, So, there was a lot of alcohol gift sets, and I walked away with a gift set of Baileys with 2 coffee mugs in it.
I was going to say, why am I not surprised?
Yeah. Last year, when we did this, everybody in the information management department at an insurance company walked away with a drone.
Damn, that sucks. You should have gotten that. Oh, man.
So, also, last year, I couldn't participate because I had to, like, dip out of the holiday party to go take a final halfway, but this year I could stay for the whole thing.
Ooh.
Don't you wish you got a drone this year? That would have been sick.
Nah, I'm kind of over drones.
I'm not.
Very into alcohol, though, gotta say.
I mean, yeah, that's good, too. I'm just saying, like, give me a drone.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of dipping to go take a final, finals are in full effect. So, Friday night I had a final. You know what else happened on Friday night? There was a lot of snow.
Sure was. You had to drive through it to get to your final.
Yes,
Jersey
so
boys in your snow.
So, if you look at a map of New Jersey, I work kind of in the top left part, like, very close to the New York state border.
He works, like, near where the tip of the guy's back of his hat is.
Kinda, except it's like the top of the hat. The very top, almost.
The middle top of the hat. Or the top
not even the
front
middle.
of the hat.
Not even the middle.
The top front of the hat?
Top front of the hat.
That's not really the top left then. That's more the top middle, but okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. So it takes me, I work in Branchville, and I drive to Newark for school after work 3 days a week. That's 50 miles. And on Friday, there was a lot of snow, so to go 50 miles, it took me 3 fucking hours. And I took my final in 20 minutes and then got back on the highway to drive home, and that was not good.
I don't know, it sounds pretty good to me.
And then I had another final this morning at 9 in the morning. So, yeah. So I'm half done with finals, and now I have 2 more, and I want to sleep forever after.
And you're loving it.
No, I'm not. I'm taking 2 online classes next semester, so I don't have to deal with this shit. Anyway.
That was my
week. That was my week. So, yeah.
Are you glad they have online classes there that are...
Oh, I'm so happy NJIT does online... Well, every school does online classes now, but like...
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
Not every school, but yes, most schools.
I mean, it's 2017, all school... Like, fucking Sussex County did
shitty liberal arts
classes.
Colleges don't do that still. Miko.
I go to the Newark College of Engineering. Thank you.
I'm not saying your school doesn't. I'm just saying there are some that still don't.
Well,
let
them. Fuck them.
I mean, yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was my week, and so, whoops. There we go. Yeah. So,
yeah,
you want to kick it into the thing that we're gonna do, or
Sure. Who wants to start?
So I figure we don't all do all of our list at once. We maybe, like, take turns.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go.
You want me to go first?
You're the first one on the list.
Idiot.
Yeah, because I make the document, so I'm by default the first person on the list.
The first one on this list is something we all did together anyway, so...
So, let me talk to you about Night in the Woods and how it's basically the greatest video game ever made.
I would say
And I'll
it's the
tell you why.
greatest 90s living in New Jersey simulator ever made.
Absolutely. Now, people tell me, Alex, that's not a video game. You just run around and you talk to people all day. And I'm like, look, I don't fucking care.
And you're like, look, at one part you have to run away from the ghost.
At one part you do have to run away from the ghost, but I don't think it matters if you don't run away from the ghost.
I think you can fuck up running away from the ghost, probably.
But I don't think there's a fail state in that game.
Oh, maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it just, like, makes it go faster. I don't know, but...
You have to pick a head of a robotic animal. You have to pick one.
You do. You have to pick one.
You
or
can't
don't if you don't
one.
hang out with Greg. Yeah, you can just not pick one, actually.
Well, not if you go there.
Well, if you go there, yeah, you're correct. So, Night in the Woods is a game that, so if you've ever been the kind of person who kind of felt like they were going nowhere in their life, no matter what you did, this is
grew up
a
in New Jersey.
Well, if you just grew up in general, this is the game that you can relate to. I have never experienced a game that I have related to so well before. There are 4 characters that are experiencing different levels of existential dread that all represent me at different time periods in my life.
I don't know. I feel you say that, but I don't know that what's his name? Angus is necessarily feeling existential dread in the same way.
No,
it's not really existential, but yes,
not
in general.
the same way. Not like the other 3.
Yeah,
but Angus is very underexplored compared to like Greg B and May.
Oh,
so
well, yes, that's very true.
Yeah,
you know what I was thinking actually, because there was DLC that came out for that game recently.
Yeah,
or well, sort of, not. It's director's cut version, whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be cool if you could also hang out with Angus instead of Greg? But then I was like, I guess that kind of doesn't. I don't know
what you would do with Angus.
Well, they would have to develop the character more.
They would.
I don't know. I think that would be interesting. But
yeah. So reason 1, I like this game a lot. Very relatable. Reason 2, it's like basically furries all the time. So furries love it.
That's your favorite thing. Furries all the time.
2, Angus and Greg are gay, so that's gay representation in a video game written by a straight white dude. So that's pretty good.
Gotti.
Yeah. B was basically me before I moved back to New Jersey, where I was just working all the time and miserable. So I was that was me. May was me after I dropped out of college the first time.
Except your dad wasn't like as bad as B's dad, probably.
I mean, I didn't work for my dad, so I couldn't. that doesn't necessarily work.
True.
That's yeah.
May is me currently right now in real life. Thank you.
yeah. So you should move on. You should move on to B, and then just be miserable at a job all the time.
That seems bad. Oh no.
That's how I did it. I don't recommend doing it this way, but that's just how it is.
B's got it rough. She has a cigarette in her mouth 100% of the time in that game.
Yeah, when I worked at CVS, I also had a cigarette in my mouth 100% of the time.
Yeah, that game's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
I didn't play that game, but I watched you play it and talk about
it.
Yeah,
I made you do it because you were available to do LPs.
But it was a good making me do it because that game was really good.
Yeah.
It's a good romp. I guess living down in the south, I don't have the same kind of feelings. But
some of the things in that game are very specific to like the Mid-Atlantic, like between Pittsburgh and New Jersey, like the old coal mining towns. Like, and also, you probably don't get that in Texas.
Yeah, and also just like the wilderness being like that is so. I really can't stress how much that is suburban New Jersey. Like, and I didn't even grow up in suburban New Jersey, but I know people who did.
Yeah, me. Hi. How you doing?
Hi. But I know people other than Miko as well who did, and that is, I mean,
that's it.
Point
that's
for point.
How
that's
is.
it. Yeah.
You get a small downtown area, and then a couple of blocks of houses, and then it's just forest until the next town for no reason.
Yep.
Unless you live in like Passaic or Essex County, where it's just like towns end to end. But when you get out this far west, it just becomes trees end to end.
And then it's like, what do you do there? And it's like, I don't know, man. What do you do there? You go to the bigger city that's nearby, and you go to a party in a basement.
Yeah, pretty much. And I will say that I did play a little bit of the content update. I haven't gotten very far, because I haven't had time, because finals, but...
I saw that you were posting on Twitter about that, and I was wondering if you were playing through again.
Yeah, I'm gonna spare you guys, I'm not gonna drag you guys through this again, but, HT from Toon Public Works, we might do another LP of this game with the content stuff.
Oh my goodness, is there really that much more?
I don't know. I'm not that far yet, so...
Oh, okay. Have you seen any new stuff yet?
Yes, so I've only played the first 2 or 3 days, and I've seen a lot of new stuff.
Wow, okay, cool.
The first day, there's really nothing, but, like, day 2, there's, like, new stuff. There's, like, a new lady you can talk to in, like, the tunnel underneath the town.
Oh, yeah, I love the tunnel.
And she tells you all about May's grandfather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, that's dope. I'm glad to hear that there's, like, a significant amount of new content, because...
Yeah, my understanding is there's also new, like, hangout sessions, also.
Yeah, I have... Specifically, I know for a fact there are more crimes to do with Greg.
Hell yes.
One thing I know.
Hell yeah. Let me get my leather jacket, and then we can go do gay crimes with Greg.
You don't even need a leather jacket, you really just need to wiggle your arms up and down really frantically.
So I have bones in my arms, so I don't know if I can do it the same way.
Try your best.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Anyway, that's what I had for Night in the Woods. I recommend this game a lot if you enjoy video games. And also having depression.
And existential think pieces that involve being a mid-Atlantic teen.
Yeah.
Young, not teen, really, like, older than teen. I was going to say young adult, but that now means, like, a 12-year-old, so who fucking knows?
If you're in your 20s and you're sad, this is the game for you.
If you're in your 20s and you're sad, I relate.
Anyway. I only watched like maybe like 5 or 6 movies this year. I actually found time to actually get out of the way.
Do you remember what they were? I know you saw Thor.
But, yeah, Sora was the one I watched along with the one I'm going to mention here. But I watched Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I felt like it could have been a bit more, but I didn't. I did like
it was low key, but I'll say this about that movie: considering how absolutely garbage the Spider-Man movies have been, especially since like the first one, which is probably the only one people really liked. Okay,
I mean, I like two.
In a minority there, but sure.
I felt. What, Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2. That's the one where he gets all emo, right? Spider-Man 2? Oh, okay.
No, that's 3.
Oh, yeah,
2
okay.
is
No, you're right. I forgot. I thought that was the one where he got emo. But, yeah, since Spider-Man 2, it's basically been a bunch of garbage, so... The fact that they managed to make a competent Spider-Man movie with a seemingly not terrible person playing Spider-Man is good. Because they needed that. But...
Yeah.
But there's other movies.
What? So there was another one. There was another movie I saw just by chance because I heard a review about it saying like, oh, it's okay, it's just fucking weird though. I think it was Good Time.
That was the acid movie you talked to us about a while ago.
Oh
right?
yeah. I feel like there was one more this year, but goddamn it, it's been a while.
But who cares about that fucking other movie? Because it's not as good as the other one.
The Mexican movie, Coco. Like I went into detail about this last episode. Well, like I guess it's someone, like I said, someone who's going to be like who's trying to be like like an animator in 3D modeling, that kind of thing.
Right.
Seeing the kind of stuff they were able to do with like even the basic software, and just like seeing how far it can go. Because like that scene where they pan when they first show like the Day of the Dead City, like 100, like they specifically go like, oh, there's like 3 million lights in the entire city.
Holy shit.
And, like, trying to render one light on this shitty PC is... Well, one light's never a problem. It's like, you need, like, 15, then it starts struggling.
Yeah, and that's how many times 15?
Actually, no. I won't lie. I don't know how much lights it will take to make this PC struggle. Depends on the renderer, but that's a whole different... The movie
but it's less than 300 million, or whatever.
Yes.
3 million, yeah.
I think it might be 300 million. It's a lot of lights. It's beautiful. The movie's beautiful. I love... Because, like, Day of the Dead has been a setting I've always seen it a lot. Because it's like the most easy to grab from Mexican culture.
Right,
absolutely. There's that level in Psychonauts, which I really like. Then there's that movie that came out a couple years ago called The Book of Life. Mm-hmm. Then there's a bunch of, like, hey, here's Mexico. Here's a bunch of skeletons that were painted on them.
It's easy to grab, and also probably the only Mexican holiday that America even knows about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we don't know when actual Independence Day is. I don't.
Well, I do because I grew up in Dover, New Jersey until I was 11 years old.
Okay, well.
So, but that's the only reason I know that.
Special
Dover, New Jersey has a very, very high Hispanic population.
I should know it because it's the day before my birthday.
I only know that Independence Day is a holiday there. That's all I know.
Yeah. But even back in Spanish class, that was like one of the holidays they wouldn't mention and stick out. So seeing the movie done without just being like, oh hey, look at these skeletons, boogity boogity, and then just candy and shit like that. It's actually it hits really close to home. That's the best way to put it. 'Cause, despite me being Mexican, I am not very into my own culture.
Sure.
But I've been around these kind. I've been watching a movie. And then remembering everything that happens in that movie, then having kind of a similar feeling, family,
right?
Cause my dad's side of my family is very because he'll go down to Mexico every year, get my grandma, bring her up here.
Word, every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. Getting tougher and tougher these days with the shitty people in office.
Mm-hmm. Let's not go there. We can, but let's not ruin the mood.
Yeah.
So it's fun. That's one of the reasons why I took him to the movie because I figured he would like it.
Right.
And particularly why I wanted to go to a Spanish showing because it's a oh boy I mentioned this in the thing I might actually buy this on Blu-ray when it comes out because
buying a physical copy of a movie in 2017.
I know. I mean, even before that, I never really bought a lot of movies.
That's the highest praise that you can give a movie in 2017, I think. I am going to buy the physical media copy of this.
Because I want to get to the extras to see how all they did everything or what.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll show some. They do that a lot in. Is this a Pixar movie? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
They definitely do that in Pixar movies. They show the technology they use and stuff like that.
Because usually, we also these kind of movies too. I wouldn't listen to the director's commentary to see what
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when I actually bought the Zootopia movie last year, I was disappointed I didn't have it. So,
wait, the DVD for Zootopia doesn't have director's commentary?
Nope.
What the fuck?
No, it just has Nick talking really softly over it and saying he wants to fuck you over and over again.
So like the Deadpool.
Oh well, I'm still into that, so that's fine.
Oh, so it's like the Deadpool Blu-ray.
Yeah,
do they have a Clawhauser track? Just curious, just wondering.
maybe for the eventual Disney Vault edition.
No, but you can find that on YouTube, Miko, if you really look hard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Clawhauser ASMR sexual.
You need to search specific fetish. That's too general. Clawhauser ASMR foot.
Well, I'm not going to say that part out loud.
Oh, God.
And no, it's not foot.
It's whatever's in your heart.
Penis.
Yes. But yeah, I actually went...
It's trying to say Gainesville, Florida, but that's not what I want.
That's weird.
Close yet far.
There are no results for the thing I'm trying to find.
That's a shame.
Suffer.
I did find a Zootopia AMV. I don't want to click on that.
Zootopia is on A in the first place, so
this is for ages 16 plus. I'll have you
know.
know.
I don't want to know about
that. Anyway, Coco, good movie.
Cool.
I'll probably learn about one day.
Yeah, I will talk about a thing that's not a game. Also,
movies aren't a game.
I'm gonna not. That's what I mean. I said also. So this year I got really into watching a YouTube channel that is called Hot Ones. Maybe you've heard of it. Basically the concept is it's a celebrity interview show, right? Which obviously on its face that already sounds terrible, but the conceit is that the way that they're interviewed is they have 10 hot wings in front of them, like chicken wings. For guests who are vegan or vegetarian or whatever, they have options for them that they give them. So they're very considerate.
What?
That was weird.
Don't worry about it. That was just my phone. Don't worry about it.
Your phone is cackling at the idea of feeding celebrities hot wings.
No, your phone is cackling at the idea of vegans, it sounded like. But anyway. Yeah, they do. So they're very considerate there. But basically the way that it works is you have these 10 wings that have increasingly hotter hot sauces on them. So wing 1 is like Valentina. Wing 2 is like Crystal. Maybe you've heard of it. You know, originally, if you go back to the older episodes, wing 1 is like Tabasco or something like that, right? Or Frank's Red Hot. And then they move up and up and up and up to the point of like Zombie Apocalypse is the name of one of them. Blair's Mega Death Sauce with Liquid Rage is another name.
Okay, so, alright, listen, I got recipe questions about how you liquefy rage to put it into a sauce. How do you do that?
Well, step 1, you get about 200,000 capsaicin points on the scale, or whatever the fuck, however that works.
Oh, so I don't just squeeze a gamer until all the rage comes out?
No, I think it's liquid rage because that's what is coming out of your butt after you eat it a few hours later. Because you just start screaming. You know about scream shitting, right? It's a really good
spicy
activity.
food. Of course I know about it.
Yeah, it's like yoga. You shit and you scream, and it really brings your whole center together.
Well, all right.
But anyway, and so they ask you an interview question of the celebrity guest, and then the celebrity guest eats a hot wing and answers it. And each wing is a new question. So there's like fun little segments on it, like Explain That Graham, which is like they just, go into the guest's Instagram, pull out particularly interesting photos, and then say, hey, what the fuck was happening here? Like, what happened with this photo? Why were you hanging out with Tommy Chong or whoever? Yeah,
so that's actually the kind of shit I love, because I don't know if you know who Nardwar is.
Yes, it is. I would say that this is very similar. Actually, they have recently, I forget which episode it was, but it was a recent episode where the host of the show literally gave a shout out to Nardwar because he was like,
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Nardwar interviews musicians and he digs really deep for his questions, and it's actually, you should go check it out.
Yeah, so
they're pretty good.
The host of the show is Sean Evans, and he's really, really great. I mean, he's just a genius. And also, he can handle his hot wings well enough that he can. The guests always say it seems like he's being unaffected or whatever. But it's hilarious because, like, you have guests who are like, I don't know, are you really eating the hot wings? And they want to, like, trade with him. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. I do this every week. That's why I have a tolerance to this. You don't understand. In a recent episode, they asked him, like, do you ever eat, like, hot wings outside of the show anymore? And he goes, no, I fucking hate them now. Because I have to eat them every week, and it's torture. But yeah, I mean, he's a really good host, and yeah, he does. He's not. I wouldn't say it's quite as in depth as Nardwar, because Nardwar, like, really, I mean,
his Lil Wayne interview where he's just like pulling out like obscure shit from like 1992 is like insane.
Nardwar talks to like your fucking cousins and shit. Nardwar fucking reads your diary from when you were a kid and stuff. So it isn't quite that much.
He'll pull out an album that like your cousin's like ex-girlfriend made.
Right.
Ask you about it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right.
I love it.
It's not as crazy as that, but he definitely gets in pretty deep, and a lot of the guests often compliment him on like, oh wow, you're actually asking me a good question. That's not just like some garbage interview question. It's like actually a real shit. You're not just asking every guest the exact same question or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really good show. It's every Thursday comes out, every like Thursday morning. And yeah, I mean, I saw like a couple episodes I think last year, but I wasn't really too deep into it. But the quality gets better and better with every episode. And now I like never miss an episode because they're so good. I mean, there are guests who I never would have thought I would give a single shit about. But I just watched the episode and it turned, they make guests who you don't think you care about more interesting than you thought they were going in, which is a really amazing thing to do on an interview show. So
so I've only seen one of these, which was the Joji episode, because it got linked in Discord.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good episode. I would say if you want a jumping in point, that's probably a pretty good place to do it.
A really good jumping in point is the TJ Miller episode is really, really good. And then also sorry, I'm just going to really quickly look because there's one I can't remember. There's an H3 episode that's pretty good too. But, what is his name? Bert Kreischer also is really good. And Charlie Day, too, from It's Always Sunny. And Terry Crews, which are, a lot of those were this season.
Link me to one of these after the podcast. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
Just to have it on my, like, in a tab.
Yeah. So the channel's called Hot Ones, again, is the name of it. But it's an awesome show. I totally recommend checking it out, because I've been really enjoying it.
Also,
yeah, I should probably get into it, because my YouTube subscriptions are kind of light these days.
Mm-hmm. Isn't this summer... I guess the way you're describing it. Actually, no, the other one was just a challenge. Never mind.
So here's
Are you thinking of Hot Pepper Gaming, where they fed Andrew WK a very spicy pepper and he tried to review Breakout? Yeah, no, I love Hot Pepper Gaming, but that's a whole different thing.
Right, so here's the thing, actually. The kind of fun thing about this show is, at no point, the guest doesn't have to eat all the hot wings. But once you're done eating the hot wings, interview's over, and also, you don't, at the very end, you're allowed to, like, kind of sell yourself a little bit if you make it through, right? You can say, what's going on in your life right now is what he asks, and they go like, oh, I got an album out, whatever it is, but you have to make it through all the wings first. And actually, this is if you haven't seen it, one episode that's really good to watch is DJ Khaled.
Oh my god.
Because he makes it through 3 wings and then quits because he can't.
What? Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
That's so disappointing.
And everyone shits on him for, like, the rest of the entire show. He was in, like, season 1, and all the way in season 4, they're still making fun of him for it. It rules. It's awesome.
Alright, I gotta watch this.
Yep, so that's one of mine.
Spicy.
Alright, so, next on my list, let me tell you about the Adventure Zone. Fans of podcasts may probably already know the Adventure Zone.
Nope, sorry, never heard of it. Probably sounds like garbage, I guess. Yep.
As Mabim Bam, but Dungeons and Dragons instead. And also their dad is there.
Definitely not Game of the Year, that's all I know.
Well... so I started listening to the Adventure Zone this year. I started in May, because everybody was like, you should listen to the Adventure Zone over and over, and I finally did it.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast where the McElroys play Dungeons and Dragons, and it's very good.
And who are the McElroys?
You really
They're brothers, okay? God.
Yeah, they're the brothers. They're the good boys.
And dad.
And their dad.
Who normally is not a part of their podcast, but is for this.
Right. So, the Adventure Zone is Griffin DMing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign for his father and 2 brothers, Justin and Travis. And at first, it starts out kind of pretty normal. And then it just goes off the rails and gets crazy. And that's where it, like, hooked me. So I got up to...
When would you say it hooked you?
I gotta look at, like, the episode list to, like, really tell you.
No. Think about arcs. Think about, like, arcs.
I'm trying to remember what order they went in.
Okay, that's so first you have, what's his name? Gary Blue Jeans?
Barry Blue Jeans.
Barry Blue Jeans, and then you have the
train. Barry Blue Jeans and Gundren Rockseeker.
Right, Barry Blue Jeans in the cave with the bugbear. And then...
Actually, was the train the second one?
The train was the second one, I think.
About halfway through the train.
Okay, when it starts to get weird in the train. When
it literally becomes a murder mystery on a train, that's where I'm like, oh shit.
Basically when Griffin started doing his Angus impression, who is a character.
Yeah, fucking Ango. Oh my god. Ango is perfect. So, here's a couple of reasons why I love the Adventure Zone. 1, the story goes places. And I can't explain a lot of them to you because it would be a spoiler, but, like, you need to trust me that it gets very in-depth and it's very well written.
And it gets emotional. They're not afraid to let it get emotional.
It does get pretty emotional. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when it ended, I was very sad that, like, the story had come to a close.
And even just within that, there's emotional moments. I mean, like...
Right.
Right.
There are at least 7 queer characters in this thing, which is astronomical.
That's a lot. That's a large number.
So you got
for a large popular piece of media.
You got Taco, which is Justin's player character. Loop, Kravitz. I forget their names, but they were in the Raven, and then
and her friend
Mad Max section.
Fuck, what was her name? I know who you're talking about, but yeah, the dwarf lady who was yeah.
Right, and then fuck, there's 2 more. Who are they? Fuck.
No, that was. Oh no, you're right. That was 5.
It's 5. There's definitely 7.
No, it wasn't Lucretia.
No.
It's not Davenport.
No, it's not Davenport.
Okay. I haven't finished it yet, so.
Definitely, you should do it.
I know. I'm very close. All right. Well, anyway, they're good.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're good characters.
I forgot. They're all good characters.
They're not just written like a bunch of fucking flamboyant, queens and fucking. They're written like humans, right? Characters.
Right. Like they did their research.
Right.
Hello, I'm here to tell you from the future that I couldn't think of Carrie and Killian, and Hurley is the other one. So yeah, I'm going back to editing the episode now. Bye. So yeah, that's the Adventure Zone, and they started a new arc, and I was into it, but it's not the same as the Balance arc.
Right. So the thing that they started is a new campaign, basically.
Yeah, they're doing like mini campaigns before they figure out what the second season, I guess, is.
My understanding is that they aren't necessarily bringing those characters back, though. Like that's sort of done, I think.
Yeah, maybe they might appear in a live show or something. Who knows?
Sure. I just meant in terms of the main podcast. That was kind of what Griffin was saying. Was that we told their story. We're done with that. Right. Which is good because I think it's important to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the actual best part about that podcast that you didn't say is that Angus MacDonald is literally Conan the Detective from the anime. And if you don't know what that is, look it up.
He's the world's greatest boy detective.
And if you don't know what that is, look it up because Conan the Detective is also really good. Detective Conan, sorry.
It is
very long. It's like 500 episodes. Don't watch all of it because there's too much. But
I'm pretty sure there's
yeah,
I forget the movies.
There's like 7 movies too, and one of them's a Lupin crossover.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But instead, you could just listen to the Adventure Zone and listen to Griffin literally pretend to be that character, if you want.
Yes, you should do that. So yeah, that all culminates in the Adventure Zone being very important to me this year. So yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, and you listened to probably more than 40 hours of it, if I remember the amount of things that is in there. So yeah.
They ended on episode 69, the first arc, which was also perfect.
Ha! So actually more like 60, 70 hours of it, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, when I started mainlining it, I got caught up like 2 episodes before the finale, and I was like dying for more. So,
yeah, that's
that
the good
kind
news
of unfortunate timing on my part.
That whole arc is done now, so if you want to go listen to that, you can literally, if you're a horrible monster...
if you get hooked, you don't have to wait for them to come to the conclusion. You just have to listen through it.
Yeah.
So...
And yeah, it's very good. It is a D&D podcast, but I will say it is not overly mechanicsy in a way that is frustrating. It's
right, like you don't have to know how to play D&D to get into it, and
right.
like I tried getting into Friends at the Table after. There's too much going on in Friends at the Table.
Friends at the Table is much more
it's very dense
play based, I would say.
It's very dense, and like the worlds that Austin is building are very, very dense, and it's like very hard for me to decipher when I listen to podcasts. Which is okay,
and that's cool too, but it's a different thing.
Yeah,
like they're still on a different niche.
Okay.
I guess I'm next.
Yeah, hit me.
I'm gonna hit you. Home. Oh, this is music. Okay, you nerds should know this more. So I was literally trying to find a topic for each like thing, and I was trying to find one for music, and I realized I don't listen to a lot of music.
You realized I hate all music.
But
what's up with that?
You realized I love all music. What's up with that?
Music genres. What are those? But the only time I really like sit down and like listen to anything is usually when I'm at work, just on the radio, sense, yeah. or just like or just when I go somewhere, just like I listen to podcasts in the car.
Of course.
Yeah.
Talk to Miko about doing that.
Yeah. But at work, there was a period of time where I had a radio, and one day it just kind of disappeared. Don't know what happened to it, but boy, it just sucked, because we're getting I do warehouse work for people who don't know. And so how I kill time, I just like wait for stuff to come down, and I just listen to the radio, or I used to. But like, everyone else in our house has their own kind of radio as well, and they all seem to gravitate toward like one or two stations, which are both rap and R&B. I feel like if it was back in the day, I would say fuck them all, but I don't mind R&B and rap.
Doesn't drive you crazy.
No. But I would specifically say I hate mainstream.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the case, really. Is like, as soon as you start digging past, like, the rap that comes out on, like, your top 40 radio, like, you'll find the good stuff. It's like right below the surface. It's the same with rock. It's the same.
But a lot of that top 40 stuff is brutal. Your point is,
like I could tolerate most like top 40 shit because but like for some reason like most just like R&B stuff is like most top R&B nowadays. It's just like
I don't want to listen to Harley Rae, Selena Jepsen, Swift. I can't say anymore.
But there was a particular song a couple months ago that these two stations would play. It felt like maybe one or three times an hour.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And oh god, I'm trying to remember. Because like at first I didn't mind it at first because it was different compared to everything else that was on that particular station.
It's in here. Do you want me to read the name?
People will know. It's Bruno Mars's. That's what I like.
Yep. Hey, you're not the only one who's heard this song a number of times this year.
I've never heard this song in my life.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Have you not?
I don't listen to the radio. I only listen to music through Spotify or my MP3 collection, so... Also, my radio station that I listen to occasionally is WFMU in Jersey City. They don't play top 40. They play weird experimental shit.
Okay, that's even better. Basically, yeah. So, both stations would play this. It feels like maybe like several times in a matter of like 4 hours. And even when I died, I heard it once. I feel like someone at a different part of the warehouse would just change their station to the other one.
Oh,
and it would play again. So like you heard it once, and then they switched to that same different other station to listen to, and their song again, and like fucking time.
I'm sorry, I just have to read the refrain for Miko in case you maybe have heard this song one time, because I feel like you must have heard this one time because it's literally been not the only song I can think of that's been playing more than this is that what's that other? I think it's also a Bruno Mars song.
Just read it.
The one about fucking. The one that's like, all right. Anyway.
Well, now I'm interested.
The refrain of this one is like, "Cool jewelry shining so bright, strawberry champagne on ice.
Oh,
Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like."
I've never heard this song in my life.
No,
actually.
Oh man,
Nope.
It's torture. I mean, that was especially a bad rendition, but.
Yeah, that's pretty much on par with what I had to listen to for about 3 or 4 months.
You need to listen to that after this so you can understand.
Nah, how about I don't?
No, you need to listen to it one time.
What if I just didn't?
One time.
You had to experience
one time for now.
What if I just went and listened to the same Beck album that I've always listened to for the past 10 years again?
You can do that too. I'm not going to stop you, but
yeah, Odelay is very good.
Yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I feel I absolutely feel your pain. I have heard the same.
It's because for the longest time I did not know who sang it. I just knew the name of the song until randomly I was just like doing some work and all of a sudden and this song by Bruno Mars it's this fucker who sang it.
Yeah, if there's a pop rap song, sort of like semi-rap R&B type song that's driving you crazy, it's not a bad assumption to just assume that it's Bruno Mars. Yeah, in fact, I would usually start there and then reach outwards if I can't figure it out.
Hey, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
Yeah, does Bruno Mars is gay? It's an excellent question, Miko. But I don't think anyone really has the answer to that question, unfortunately.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just never know.
We'll just know. That's one of those things we'll never know.
Yeah, that song. Fuck that song. I don't really want to hear it again.
I will say though, there is a sort of a Bruno Mars song that came out this year. Or was it last year? I don't know. That I actually like. Which is a remix, and not an actual Bruno Mars song, but a remix of an anime song combined with 24K Magic. That's really good. It's the opening to the Dragon Maid anime. Remixed with that, and it's really good. I'm going to link it to you after this, because it's great.
That's a remix, though.
No, it's not.
Original.
Fuck the original. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but it's also got anime, so you're covered.
Yeah, don't worry. There's anime in there for you.
Ugh. Alright. But yeah, that's that. Fuck that song again. We'll never speak of it again. Never speak of it again.
Speaking of music, I also enjoy music on occasion.
Give me some music.
There were actually a lot of really good stuff that came out this year. And there's even another album that's sort of similar to what I'm going to be talking about and the reasons why it's special to me, which is an album from a band that hasn't released an album in a really long time and is a special band to me, which is, I don't remember what the name of it is, but the new LCD Sound System, American Dream, is that it?
American Dream, yes.
Yeah, and
so I was considering putting it on my list, and I'm like, well, I have enough stuff.
So that one to me is very similar to this, but this one hit me a little harder, so that's why I'm talking about this other one instead. But American Dream is also really good. You should check it out. And what I'm going to talk about is that the Gorillaz, who are a band that I have literally been listening to since probably either 8th grade. I mean, definitely 8th grade, but more so since like 9th grade, very beginning of high school. Like consistently listening to. And I just, oh man, they're a really good band. Like 19 to 2000 is a really amazing album, and so is Demon Days, and so is Plastic Beach. Plastic Beach was like 6 years ago, I think, if I remember correctly. But you can check it out. It's like 2010 or 2011.
2010.
Yeah, so 7 years ago.
Demon Days was 2005.
But I think this came out in 2016, right? Humans? I might be wrong about that. You can check.
I feel like it came out earlier this year.
I think it was 2017, but anyway. 6 or 7 years, basically, since they put out an album. It's called Humans with a Z. Humans. And, man, just...
Nope, it was this year.
This is one of those... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Because I remember, like, Gorillaz stuff like, popping up earlier this year.
Yep.
So I would figure, like, new album.
And this is one of those bands that just, like... You know, there's some bands, like Nickelback, that no matter how many new albums they release, it all just sounds the same. You know what I mean? Like, they never change, really, or the sound stays the same.
Playing it safe.
And there's even bands who I think are kind of like that. Like, I would put LCD Sound System more into that category, where all their music is sort of similar to each other in
right. So as much as I like American Dream, it sounds a lot like Sound of Silver, which came out 10 fucking years ago.
Right. It has
There's
certain
a lot of
themes
similarities
that carry over, but I don't even think that's a bad thing. Like I you know, that can be a good thing too, right? Because that might be just what you want to listen to when you hear them. But Gorillaz are this band that I just think have been so good at evolving with time and being able to still be really special and really make really excellent music, but not just sticking to one style or one sound. Mm-hmm. And they really did that with this album, and it's just such a fucking good album. I mean, for me particularly, like Strobe Light and We Got the Power, which are a couple songs on that album, are just so fucking good. Like, oh my god, it's amazing that you can come out with songs like that in the year 2017 to me. Like, Strobe Light sounds like a fucking, like, 70s, 80s, like, disco jam almost sort of thing. Like, club music from the 70s and 80s, and it's so fucking good. It's like a pop song from then, and yeah, like, they just fucking killed it. I mean, even in the pre-release to this album, I just want to talk about, like, they were releasing tracks from the album on their YouTube channel, separately, just to be like, oh, here's like a preview of the album, right? Like, oh, here's one track, here's another track. And in the process of doing that, they released some remixes that, if I remember correctly, they aren't even on the actual album they released. Like, you can only really listen to them there. And there's stuff like Let Me Out, Banks and Ranks remix, and We Got the Power remix called the Claptone remix. And both of them are just really fucking good. And it's the same songs that are on the album, but like completely remixed and like totally different sound, and yet still really good. The Gorillaz are probably, for me, the band that has the best guest spots on their albums of like any band ever, basically. I mean, they literally just get everyone. I mean, they had fucking not Willie Nelson, Guthrie or something. No,
Woody Guthrie. I don't know.
I think that might be true, but it's I forget who it was on Plastic Beach at the same time as Snoop Dogg. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's crazy.
On Plastic Beach, because I have Wikipedia open, I can just
you can look it up. Yeah, it's one of the songs. But man, Arlo got no. I don't know. He's dead. I forget.
Plastic Beach. Let's see here. So we got Snoop Dogg, Mos Def.
No, but fucking Snoop Dogg and Mos Def on the same album. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah. I forgot Gruff Reese is on one of these, and he fronts a band that only I seem to have heard of, called the Super Furry Animals.
That's a good name for a band.
They're a good band. They were the first band I ever saw live, actually.
But yeah, they're just monsters. Like, to me, this is like, the Gorillaz are just this band that, like, they've never released something that I've been like, man, that sucks. And every time they come back, and I feel like they're always sort of like on and off, like they never are just like constantly putting out stuff, but whenever they put something out, it's just like such like a breath of fresh air, like, oh my god, they're back moment for me. And yeah, it was this year too, and it's an awesome album. I really recommend listening to it. It's maybe my favorite album of this year, so you should definitely check it out.
Nice. So let me ask you something. How do you feel about Blur?
Yeah, Blur is the Gorillaz, so I feel alright about it.
Yeah, so, because I got into Blur first, so I always feel like the Gorillaz are the Blur side project, which I know is kind of not fair.
That's so rude.
I know that's not fair, because I feel like Gorillaz far outpaced Blur in terms of popularity.
Could you do that?
Pretty much immediately, but Blur does a lot of the same things you were talking about. Like every Blur album does sound different. Like fucking Think Tank, which is probably the album I got into Blur with. Like sounds very like Middle Eastern, and none of their other albums sound at all like that.
Right.
So it's Damon Albarn's work just does that.
That guy is fucking crazy. Yeah. He's just crazy. That's it.
Blur also did the same thing 2 years ago where they just didn't release an album for a long time, and then all of a sudden the Magic Whip came out.
Yeah.
So
eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Wow.
Do one, Miko.
Let's talk about Neo Yokio.
I still can't get over that name every time.
Yeah. So we talked about this on the podcast a little bit. It is so Ezra
Koenig. We talked about it a lot of it. Let's be honest.
Ezra Koenig from Vampire Weekend made an anime and decided, you know who I want to be my protagonist? Jaden fucking Smith.
That's like one of the funniest sentences in the human language. Ezra Koenig from Vampire Weekend made an anime starring Jaden Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
And now, so actually when I first saw this, I thought this was like a Netflix original series. Like a pure one? Not the case. It turns out this was made for some other network, and it got canceled, and Netflix picked up the remains because it was already finished.
Netflix was like, wow, they're fucking stupid. Do they not realize how hilarious this is as a concept?
Okay,
knowing whether it's good or not. Just the concept.
I have to know what network, declined this.
Oh, man. USA Today. Characters welcome.
Did you say USA Today?
No, I don't know why I said today, but USA Characters.
Yeah.
That's a newspaper.
Or is that TBS Characters Welcome? Which one?
I think that's USA.
I don't fucking remember.
I should know this because fucking Raw is on USA.
It's definitely USA.
Plot, production. Okay.
What should be Fox?
I thought SmackDown
This was going to run as part of Fox's Animation Domination High Def Late Night block.
Oh, right. And
on FXX.
Cannot make more of FXX hearing that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, FXX has Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a good show, so...
I know, but I just hate Fox a lot, so...
It's fine. It's gonna be Disney soon.
Yeah, you're right.
Does
that mean that Disney owns Neo Yokio? I didn't even realize that.
No, because they sold the rights to Netflix because they didn't
So does
air
Netflix
it.
own the rights?
Yes.
I think so.
They have to. They have to, right? It's not Ezra Koenig.
So...
I mean, Disney now owns The Simpsons now.
Well, the deal's not finalized, so not yet, but soon.
We're getting there.
Soon. Trademark.
Yeah. So I want to just run off the list of a couple of people who are in this show. Okay? So, Jaden Smith, obviously. Jude Law.
Wait.
Jason Schwartzman.
Jude
Richard
Law.
Ayoade? John DiMaggio?
Wait.
Steve Buscemi?
When? Steve
Stephen
Buscemi?
Fry.
When?
Steve Buscemi is the Remembrancer.
Oh.
God.
Oh my god.
The
Okay.
man with the powdered wig and
No,
the
I
blue
know.
eyebrows
I
and
just
his vape.
Okay, that makes so much sense now. Okay.
I don't recognize most of these names.
There's also Jesus and Marrow, who are guys who run.
Willow Smith is one of the Hellenists, which is pretty good.
His like best friends in the show. I forget their names now. Guildenstern and fucking Nutbag. I don't know. It's not important because you'll know who they are. They're the two.
Yeah, you'll know who they are immediately.
The two black dudes who always hang out with Jaden Smith in it, and they are Jesus and Marrow, who run a really popular late night show on Vice TV.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah, so this Neo Yokio is a show, and I would not call it good by any stretch of the imagination. It is, on a technical level, it's actually quite... On a technical level, it's quite bad. But
Yes,
I loved
true.
it. I loved every minute of consuming it. I don't understand what's wrong with me. But I love, like, weird surrealist shit, and this, like, scratch that itch super hardcore.
What's so crazy about this show is that it's not even just, like, what I would describe as so good it's bad. Because it's not bad like that. But it's so weird it's good.
It's, like, bad in the sense that, like, I don't know how anybody would ever greenlight this.
Right, it makes...
Do you know what I mean?
Like, when you tell me that another network dropped this, and then Netflix picked it up, it both makes perfect sense that another network would see this and go, no fucking way, we can't... No one will... Who is this for? And yet, at the same time... Yeah, at the same time, Netflix would go... Oh, we know the people who will watch this. We know them.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. Also, I have a screenshot here, pasted in the Google Doc that just says, communism forever.
Yeah, it's the main character shouting communism forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe this is from the final episode of the show, so you're
It
just
is,
gonna have
yeah.
to see how that plot gets there.
And
Watch it. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes. It's not a huge time commitment like watching like a fucking anime usually is.
right. And the episodes are all like, the classic 20-minute anime affairs.
Yes,
So.
you got 23 minutes, 6 times, you're done. The last 2 episodes are like really where it like goes off the rails and gets super interesting, so I would like stick it out if it's not working for you in the first episode.
I would say if you can make it, if you make
it to the end of episode 2,
yeah,
you will probably want to watch more.
if you make it through the end of episode 2 and you think, I kind of want to, there's more I want to know about this, then you should just watch the whole show, because episode 3 through 6 are kind of like all a sort of an arc that is really good.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, it's that show is crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun watching it. I had a lot of fun talking about it.
Yeah, same.
I am still trying to convince my coworkers. I sit with a group of also interns. I'm not an intern anymore, but I was. We all still sit together at lunch. We've all been there like the whole time. I've been trying to get them to watch it, and nobody will watch it, and I'm going to go insane.
You can definitely get one of them to watch it. You just need to like say.
I got one of them into Mabim Bam.
Tell them Steve Buscemi's in it, and they're gonna be done. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
look, Steve Buscemi's there, and he vapes.
Well, oh my god, that's how can anyone say no to that? In this show, Steve Buscemi plays a character who vapes. Come on.
Also, there is a reveal regarding the robot that I will not spoil. That is fucking amazing.
Oh man, all that.
Yeah, he has a robot butler, by the way.
Also, Helena is Miko's favorite character. True story.
Yeah. No, Helena goes from being just like this fashion snob to basically a communist, and it's amazing.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I had for Neo Yokio.
I agree.
I need to finish that show. Like, I only watched the first episode, and that's kind of where I stopped.
The second episode is a lot better than the first episode, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
the first episode's really just like kind of setting up the characters.
First
and the
episode
setting.
is a pilot, and it feels like it after you watch the second episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second episode is like there's an episode plot that you can follow, and it's like things are happening now.
And
like,
the
I'm not saying
plot
it's
follows
hard
from 2 to 3, and things happen after that point. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like hard to follow, just the fact that I've just been busy and not watch it. Like, I was wanting to watch the other shows, like the Voltron show, but again, stuff happens.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Like, I need to watch Stranger Things. I need to watch BoJack Horseman.
Yep.
I have not seen any Orange is the New Black. I have not it took me.
I mean, I do want to watch
People tell
BoJack.
me Buddy Thunderstruck is really good. I want to watch that. That's on. All of these are on my long list of things that I need to get around to. I still haven't finished JoJo's Part 4.
Oh, well, fuck everything else. You need to get on that.
That's at the top of the list. That's
I actually, you can just
what I'm
stop
gonna
going
do.
to your job and school until you finish that. Thanks.
That's probably what I'm going to do once finals is over and I have free time again. Is I'm going to like finish the last 10 episodes of JoJo's Part 4.
I think for a friend's sake, I might actually finish Voltron when my winter vacation starts.
Sure.
Like 2 weeks, just for a friend's sake.
As someone who's seen both Stranger Things and BoJack Horseman, by the way, watch BoJack Horseman first. Stranger Things is good, but it is overrated. BoJack Horseman is way better than that. So,
all right,
fuck my horse.
Can't say that out loud.
Okay.
All right, so.
Okay, now tell me about your game of the year. Which is not a thing we're doing, but tell me about it anyway.
No, but this shit's fun, though.
Yeah, well, it's basically...
Video games are good.
Like, for the one brief moment in my year where I actually had time to sit down and play video games, around the time the Switch came out. And the Switch came out with, like, one game worth buying at the moment, and that was Zelda.
Wow, you're gonna do Bomberman like that? Damn, that's cold.
Bomberman
Nobody likes Bomberman on the Switch. What are you fucking talking about?
Bomberman on the Switch, when it launched, was kind of
was bad. No, you
and
can
then
just go ahead and say it.
I mean, it wasn't like bad. It was just like shut up. There's a middle.
There's a middle.
But anyway, they patched it. They since patched it to the point where like they added some new modes. They fixed like the 60 FPS for multiplayer, one of the things. So it's actually good again. So it's fun, but I'm not sure I want to pay $40 for a game. I want to play by myself.
Bombermanapologist.avi.
Shut up. Bomberman's fun, but the problem is you can't play Bomberman by yourself. You need other people with you.
But you know what's more
love
fun?
Super Bomberman 2. That game is fucking amazing. What I saw of the Switch version did not look that good.
But you know what's more fun than Bomberman, Gamon?
Metroid. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, that too, sure. But that wasn't what I thought you were going to say the game. But yeah.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4. That's coming out next year. It's fun.
Oh my god.
But that's not out yet. We can't talk about it.
That's not a game. That doesn't exist yet.
Yet.
If I can't hold
it
it in my hand,
canceled. You don't know.
If I can't put the Switch cartridge in my mouth and then have it taste bad, then it's not a thing that I can. That's not real.
What if I take the Zelda cartridge, just scratch it out, and just say Metroid?
Oh, what game?
The Zeldas.
The Zeldas
one for the Wii U.
That's what we've been trying to get you to say. Please tell us about the Zelda.
Okay, I don't make the podcast any longer.
I love Zelda 2 for the Wii U.
I bet you do. So Zelda, it's like. So I don't really have that time. I can't play a lot of games nowadays, like without having to like sit down and just like, oh, I got homework to do. Fuck me.
Right.
But there was that brief moment back in March where I actually was able to sit down and play Zelda for a good long periods of time.
And when you say good long periods of time, you mean good long periods of time.
Yeah, I got invested into it. I just kind of just sat there and I just did things, either like trying to do the main story or just like doing side quests. Shit was fun.
There's so much shit you can do in that game.
There is. To the point where I'm like, oh, it's been about 3 hours. Fuck me.
Yeah, you think you go in and you're like, alright, I'm gonna go do one temple. And you do it, and then on the way to the temple, you do like 8 things. And after you do the temple, you do like 8 things. And you look up the clock, and it's been 8 hours. And you're like, oh.
So yeah, just like being lost in that world, even a bit barren. Just trying to find the Nut Boys. Doing the shrines.
The Nut Boys, is that what you call them?
Yeah. How else would you call them?
Oh my god. What the fucking not the Nut Boys? That's not what I would call them.
What's the big Nut Boy's name? What's his name again? Tingle? Todd? Starts with a T.
No.
No, it's like Hetsu?
Something like that.
Timothy the Big Nut Boy.
Yeah. Yep. That's So yeah, the Big Nut Boy.
No boy. But anyway, just like doing a bunch of stuff like that, and just like sort of getting sucked in. Like the last time I actually sat down to play a game like that long, but probably the original Xenoblade Chronicles, which I didn't like. I bought it one Black Friday for like $40 before, I guess back when it was still supposedly like rare.
Right. Back when it was still hard to get. I mean, it kind of still is in a way, the physical copy, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I didn't really touch it for like a year later.
And
when I
you
did,
touched it, and you were like, "Oh, I like touching this.
oh man, this Wii disc feels nice.
Love touching all over this Wii disc. Oh, Shulk.
Oh god,
I love the feel of your Monado.
Monado. But yeah, I sat down with Dad and just kept on wondering what the hell's gonna happen next.
So this is the power of the Monado.
But back to Zelda. It was just I just don't know how to describe it though. I had fun. I did my Switch says 50 plus hours on it. I'll believe it.
Did you ever beat it?
Yes, I did.
You defeated the Ganon.
Yeah, the Ganado.
You defeated Calamity Ganon.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I never actually beat that game, but I have seen the ending now.
Beat it, man.
All right. I'm going to make a really horrible admission. I bought that game for Switch. Now,
so you own it twice.
The reason that's a horrible admission is because I played 90 plus hours of that game on Wii U.
And now you get to repeat that again.
But then I saw the DLC that came out recently with the motorcycle and all the new shit, and I was like, hey, maybe what if I bought that game again and played it on Switch, though? So,
yeah. My horrible admission is I never got very far in Breath of the Wild at all, because every time I wanted to play the Wii U, my brother and his girlfriend were here playing fucking Mario Maker or Smash Brothers or some shit.
Smash Brothers.
And me and him split the cost of the Wii U, so it's as much his as it is mine. So I can't get too mad about it. But it's every time I want to play, come on, man.
Man, when he's playing Smash, just yell at him and say, "Play a real fighting game, nerd."
Wow.
And then throw a copy of Ultra Street Fighter 2 at him.
You know what I could do is I could throw a copy of Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube at him.
Okay, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Yep, that still counts. And say, see my Cervantes, bitch. As he hurl the jewel case in his head.
Fucking fighting game. Anyway, Zelda. That's fun. I bought the DLC when they announced the second pack, but I have yet to get very far. The only thing I've done with that DLC is I found some armor, and I got the Xenoblade Chronicles armor.
Spoilers. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 armor, excuse you.
I mean, I want Zelda to be. I want Link to be dressed up as Shulk.
That's not Shulk. It's not Shulk.
No,
it's
but
Rex.
I want that to be a thing.
Oh,
I know
okay,
it's Rex.
That too. Yeah, you're right.
That
would be better, honestly.
I want the Monado to be a weapon that he can wield.
Yeah, and also Shulk is fucking blonde, so that makes more sense to me. IMO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zelda.
You want it to be Rhine time in Zelda, and I don't blame you.
I mean, who wouldn't? Yeah. I miss Ryan. I actually been wanting. I thought. I kind of want to play Xenoblade Chronicles again with the New Game Plus.
Don't do that. You don't have enough time for that in your life.
I know. But I miss Ryan.
I miss Ryan.
Ryan time.
It's Ryan time!
Oh, no.
Anyway. Stop it. I don't want to go down that hole again. Anyway. Other mentions, again, Mario Odyssey. Good fun. Metroid Samus Returns. I finally beat Zelda. I finally beat Metroid 2 off on my list.
Yeah.
And Sonic Mania. Good fun.
Nice. Hey, yeah, Zelda sure was good. I played a lot of Zelda too. But I like other games also.
Such as
a game that I played this year a lot of, and it's good, and I'm gonna play more of it.
Which you should say the name of now, because we're gonna...
and you can play it on... No, so yeah, I talked about this in a previous... I think I talked about this in the podcast that I just edited, which should tell you how far behind on schedule we are. But,
you did, because I listened to it to write the show description earlier today.
But it's a game called Neo, which is actually not The Matrix. It means two kings in Japanese, basically. And, yeah, I put like a ton of hours in that game. It's, to me, the thing about this game so this game originally came out on PS4 in 2015, 16, I forget, earlier in the year, and I really wanted to play it, but couldn't, because it was PS4 exclusive at the time. And then just recently, this year, it came out on PC. So, when that happened, I was like, oh my god, holy shit, I can finally play this game, and I did. And this game brings back to me, like, the feeling that I got from playing Dark Souls 1 for the first time. In that it's like this, you really have to relearn how to play an action combat game in it. It's not like a Devil May Cry, right? It's not quite on that level of, like, you're not doing, like, fucking 11,000 hit combos and fucking backflips and switching weapons. Actually, you kind of are switching weapons constantly. But anyway, it's not quite as in-depth as that. But compared to Dark Souls, the combat system in that game is, like, so much, like, quicker and crazier and more satisfying because of the stance switching and the variety of weapons you have and stuff, which I talked about in the episode that I talked about this game in. But, like, it's just so... The difficulty and the aggressiveness of the way the combat works in this game are just so, like... There's so much what I want from Dark Souls, and I never got to play Bloodborne because I didn't have a PS4. But it feels, from what I've seen of Bloodborne, which is quite a lot, I think I've seen a couple full playthroughs actually, it seems very in line with that, and that's such a good direction, I think, for that series to go, because it makes the combat so much more visceral and exciting. And just like Dark Souls 1, it's this whole new setting to explore that's, like, really mystical, and you don't know anything about it, and it's very, mysterious and exciting playing through it for the first time. Where I feel like Dark Souls, like, kind of over time, right? Like, the first one, it was very much like that, but then you get 2, and they're bringing back references to 1, and then you get 3, and they're bringing back references to 2 and 1. And, like, you refight bosses in 3 that are bosses in 1 and stuff like that, right? So it just becomes... I don't think it was like a chore, but it was just sort of like, okay, I've seen this already, And Nioh is so fresh and new and it's exciting to me in that genre that I really enjoyed it. And I can't recommend enough, like, if you like Dark Souls games, and probably if you like Bloodborne especially, I think you will really like this game and you should check it out because... It's awesome. And the best part is, really quickly for people who've played Souls games, or the best part for me is, if you don't like getting invaded, I have news for you. You'll love this game, because there's no invasions in this game.
Nice.
There is co-op, and you can have friendly co-op, and it's not hard to set up. And you can work through any mission in the game, some of which aren't even, like, necessarily ending with a boss in the traditional sense. It's a little more varied than that, than a Dark Souls game traditionally is, and the format isn't open world, like, it's mission based, but an open world within the missions, sort of, an open level within the missions, and yeah, it's just really good, and you should check it out, Mo. And that's Nioh.
Okay, I have nothing to add because I didn't play this game.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't. Dark Souls aren't my thing.
But, I liked Dark Souls. I kind of don't... I never played Bloodborne. Like, I own it. It's still in the shrink wrap.
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
Yeah.
Should resell that
I think I mentioned it on the podcast, actually.
Get money, yeah.
Yeah, because I never got around to it.
It's supposed to be good, Miko. Everybody likes that one. I just never got around to it. There's an old lady in a chair, and she turned real slow and shoot you with a gun.
Well, I mean, everybody turns real slow and shoot me with gun.
True. Accurate. Give me another nut. Actually, yeah, no, give me another nut. Give me this next nut.
Is it my turn? I lost track.
It is your turn. Do it.
Yeah.
Alright, so, there was a video game that came out this year that, kind of took me by surprise, and it was West of Loathing.
Hey, I love Loathing to the West.
So, a little bit of background. When I was in high school, I played a lot of Kingdom of Loathing.
Alright, I didn't play a lot, but I played a good amount, so I feel you.
I mean, I was in high school in 2003 when Kingdom of Loathing launched, so, yeah.
I was in middle school.
Yeah, because you're a little baby.
Fuck.
You are a child, and you don't understand what it means to be a disco bandit, okay? I was there.
I played more Adventure Quest than I did Kingdom of Loathing. Shots fired.
Wow, okay, I see how it is. But yeah, so, Kingdom of Loathing was a very 2003-ass game. It was all web browser, kind of just click around, you get meat, that's your currency. So then, all of a sudden, I see Giant Bomb Quick Look go up for something called West of Loathing, and it's that same stick figure art style, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And you're like, stick figures in the word loathing, what the...
Yeah, so I watched that Quick Look, and it turns out that, yeah, it's a... I don't know if sequel's the right word, but it's in the Kingdom of Loathing universe.
It's a quell. It's just a quell.
Yeah, so if you took Kingdom of Loathing and applied a cowboy theme to it, and you made it an adventure game with some light combat, that's exactly what you have here. And it scratched a very specific nostalgia itch for me that I didn't even know I had.
Until you started playing it, and then you were like, oh, fuck yeah, scratch that itch,
yeah.
girl.
Yeah, so, like, if I hadn't seen that Giant Bomb Quick Look of Jeff and Ben playing this game, I still wouldn't know I even had that itch to go back and revisit that world.
So what you're saying is Jeff saved your life?
I don't know that I would go that far, but he is the trending gamer of my heart, 2014.
Okay, alright. Only 2014?
Well, Half Coordinated is the trending gamer of my heart, 2017.
So what about 2015 through 2016?
I don't know who the fuck was nominated in those years.
It can be Jeffy both years. If you want.
It's probably not, though. It's probably not.
Sorry, Jeffy. I tried. I fought
Anyway, I guess the point in the Quick Look where I knew I had to buy the game was when Jeff explained the silly walking mechanic, which is a checkbox you can turn on after you level up and you buy a perk, where every time you walk, you just do it weird. And
that's it. That's the entire mechanic, by the way, in case
that's the entire mechanic, and it's very, very Kingdom of Loathing.
It's literally like Ministry of Funny Walks, just like dumb fucking, but it's so good.
Yeah, and I will say the object of the game is to get to Frisco, which is San Francisco, and once you do that, you go left of the theater where you watch the end credits, and there's a whole bunch of row houses that look exactly like the house from fucking Full House. Like that 2-story, like kind of narrow, like San Francisco City style house that you'd see in sitcom openings.
That is so perfect.
It was pretty good. So that's West of Loathing. I enjoyed it a lot.
And for the record, it's like kind of, sort of like Kingdom of Loathing. It's like an RPG, kind of ish.
I would say this is more point and click adventure with some RPG elements.
Gotcha.
Because you don't spend much time in combat,
but there is
or anything like that.
There is RPG combat in it.
There is RPG combat. Most of the experience you get is from completing quests. So,
gotcha.
Like, if you try and grind by killing monsters, you're not going to get very far.
Word.
And you could do that. It would just suck.
But don't do that.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do that. It's in fact more fun to do the quests because they have that, like, you know, the comedy writing styles of 2003.
It's more fun to do the quests because that's the reason to play that game is for the dialogue. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not playing it because it's like fun mechanically. You're playing it because this is a very specific time and like there's a context here that you need to have going in.
You're playing it because it's also random.
Kingdom of Loathing was kind of never that exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's got some of that, like the money is meat. So I'm done. I'm done with this one.
Wow, rude.
I'm completed with this one.
I have completed.
He's free.
You can't say that.
Game boner.
Alright. So, I mentioned this like way back in the early, with like episode 4 or 5. But this whole year, I've been dealing with a lot of shit. Like on a I'm trying to figure out how to put this. I think sometime in January, I injured my foot at work.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah, I remember.
And the pain didn't really kick in for a couple more days.
And when it did, it really kicked in.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it didn't stop at the foot. So I realized my foot was like, I guess because of what happened, my foot got crooked. So I was trying to auto adjust it myself, or like adjust my leg to sort of go with it.
And what happened?
And I think at some point, I actually messed up my knee to the point where I could not get out of bed.
Oh, that's bad.
AKA, you made it much, much worse.
my left knee was now just as bad as my right foot.
Right.
To the point where like it was swollen really badly. And for the first time, it feels like forever, I actually had to go to the doctor to get it checked out. So I guess something had sort of snapped in that part of the body. So all he did was like put some ice on it, take some painkillers, it'll help for a little bit. So I did. But then over time, I realized both of my knees are starting to act up again as well, not just the left one. But the right one wasn't that bad, but I'll get to that in a minute. And eventually, I guess at some point, I don't know when, my left arm got crooked from the elbow.
From what? From lifting, basically?
I don't even know exactly why. It's just like I just kind of noticed it one day where like it's just like I can't
right.
have. Yeah, well, for one thing, I couldn't even move. I couldn't even like moving my arm to my face hurts.
That's not good.
I couldn't really like bend it forward like
Right.
I used to. So if I had like an itch on my ear on my left side, I couldn't scratch it with that arm without feeling some sort of pain coming from that arm.
And like real pain, not like cutie pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actual like yeah. I was like I could visually see my arm shaking.
Right.
So no, we're not done yet.
No. Oh God.
Believe me, the body went through a lot of stuff this year. And the last thing I noticed is the fact that my fingers started to act up too. Where there were times where I woke up in the morning, I could not get my hand to a fist, and I felt some sort of weird pain in my fingers.
Yeesh.
So again, my whole body was just starting to just shut down on me. After two doctor's trips and a sudden bill, I had to just say fuck it and just try to do my own kind of physical therapy.
Sure.
And everything kinda was helping out. I was slowly getting better, but the problem is though, like getting out of a chair was a pain because I would always feel like a sharp pain in my joints,
right,
in my knees. I couldn't walk around after walking around on my foot for very long without feeling like a sharp pain kicking in. The point is, I was just basically immobile for a while, and I didn't like it.
That sounds bad.
And so your solution was.
The solution was just, like with everything I've done before, was just tough it out and just see how I do with taking painkillers. So, for a while, every morning, I would take some aspirin, just to keep me going for the day.
Right.
And
keep you alive,
it helped,
basically.
just to get me to the warehouse. And it worked, for the most part. Just at near the end of the day, when I'm at home.
When it was wearing off, it would get worse and worse and worse.
Oh, you have no idea. To the point where, like, I wanted to turn off the light in the closet, which is, like, maybe, like, 3 feet away from where I am.
Right.
Was like, total hell. Even going to Anime Fest was kind of a problem because of that, too. Like, I had to, like, carry a bottle of pills with me in case things got bad. Look, it wasn't fun, but at some point in September, my body just said, okay, we'll help you. I don't know how to describe it. I really don't know how to describe it. It's just like, sometime in September, my knees started to get better.
Well, you were taking care of it, to be clear.
Well, I wasn't really taking any pills either. I didn't really put a lot of ice. A lot of it was like physical therapy on my own, just like walking around at my job.
Right.
And then at some point, my knees actually did get better to the point where I didn't feel any pain getting out the chair anymore.
Yay!
All right.
My fingers, my joints, they're still kind of hurt, but compared to how I was earlier in the year, I can actually grab stuff without too much problems now. So doing that kind of adjusting doesn't hurt anymore. I can get my hand to a fist and it doesn't hurt. So that's 2 problems solved. My arm is still crooked, but it doesn't hurt as much as it didn't hurt as much as it does anymore. I can actually put on shirts without having to like wince at the fact that I probably have it run at the weird angle.
It's just crooked now instead of being crooked and also extremely painful and a problem.
Yeah. So that's the thing I'm hoping to get fixed. Hopefully next year I get some more money. But for the most part, the actual pain is gone.
Yay!
So the last thing is the thing that started it all, which was my right foot. My right foot still kind of hurts, but thankfully, I think I've noticed this in the last couple of weeks actually, where I've been going back to the gym because I need to go back to the gym.
Right.
And the pain in my foot is still there, but I feel like it doesn't hurt as much as it used to. Like a lot of that pain is gone. I think if I put too much walking onto it, maybe it'll come back. But I haven't had the need, because with my FedEx job and my Amazon job, I do a lot of walking around and standing around.
You sure
and
do.
That pain had not reached to the point where I was a couple weeks ago.
Good.
So
that's good.
I feel like this is just a lot of physical therapy on my own, and my body is slowly recovering.
So basically, what you're saying is, your good thing this year is that you're not in a constant state of pain and sadness anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what else would it be?
Nothing.
But I'm happy.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I'm still not 100%. I think I won't be for a while.
Sure.
But the fact that I can at least walk around comfortably, because I remember when I went to go see my friend a couple of weeks ago, she even told me, like, we went to, like, a little plaza, like, are you sure, are you able to, like, walk around okay? Like, yeah, I can do it just fine.
Not
and I say that without, like, being, like, just trying to hide it. But I could, yeah.
Right.
I can just walk around just fine. And it feels good about it.
Feels good to be normal and not dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Recovering is good.
Recovering is good. Speaking of, no, this doesn't really have to do with recovering. But I'll do mine now.
Sure.
So this is not really a thing that came out this year or happened this year or anything like that. But the consequences of things that happened this year caused me to get into this piece of media. Which is that, hey, Street Fighter V came out last year.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you
I know, you love it.
Heard about that game.
It's your favorite video game
it's real bad. Really just god awful.
Yeah, you're always talking about how much you love it and how it's your favorite video game of all time.
Just one of the worst Capcom products in a while. And so unsurprisingly, as someone who was excited for that game, that got me back to playing other old fighting games, because I was like, man, anything to get away from this. And even after Marvel came out, which still kind of a disaster, but not nearly as bad as Street Fighter V. I'm not really a Marvel player, so it's just not the game for me, even though I don't hate that game, I will say. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite being the game I'm talking about. But this pushed me to playing some older fighting games instead. And yeah, I like Capcom games. I do like Street Fighter, so I really enjoyed Ultra Street Fighter, and I did play a good amount of that last year. And even this year, too. But there's a game that I picked up again that I used to really enjoy and play a lot of. That's a Street Fighter game that I kind of fell out of for a few years there. And I sort of picked it up and started playing it a lot more this year again and found it to be really fun and kind of just got back into it, which is Third Strike. I've been playing a lot with Game Bun, for one.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a good amount with friend of the show, Pins, and also Cosmic Bard as well. And I actually have just played some Fightcade solo against other people as well.
Really?
Yeah, I have, yeah. And man, that game is, like, really good. Like, it's just super satisfying to do everything in it. It's so crisp, so good looking. The music is fucking amazing in that game. Holy shit, the music is good in Third Strike. If you ever want to just have a crazy experience, go listen to literally any song from the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite soundtrack, and then compare that to basically any song from Third Strike. And be like, wow, this quality difference in the composition and everything between these is staggering. But yeah, like, I got so back into that game, and I picked up stuff that I kind of, like, lost along the way, having not played it in a long time. Like, this won't make any sense to people who don't play fighting games, but there's parrying in that game, so you do a move, I press forward when you do the move, and when I do that, it negates your move, does no damage to me, and also I'm at frame advantage, so I can hit you. And, like, I relearned how to do stuff like with charge characters, holding back for charge and then pressing forward to parry something, and then pressing the button, and then going back again to charge buffer, and then pressing the button to do the charge move, which lets you do some really stupid stuff and combos you wouldn't be able to do normally otherwise. So, yeah, like, it's really awesome, and there's a tournament that goes on every year in Japan called Cooperation Cup that happens early in the year. This year, it's happening on January, I think, 7th.
Like, isn't it the same time as AGDQ?
It is.
That is literally the day we are driving down.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure it's happening the 7th. And, 7th through 8th, maybe. I'm not sure. It might start the 6th, but I'm not sure. And yeah, I'm going to watch the shit out of it because it's a really good tournament. All the good players are there. And importantly, if you know anything about Third Strike, the literal person who is described as the god of Third Strike, Kuroda, who has been non-existent because he was having a really hard actual life issues in his whole sitch for a while there, is going to be there this year and is competing on a team with Daigo. So it's going to be fucking crazy. And yeah, I'm really excited. And I love that game.
Yeah, I bet you do. Actually, I guess I'll go ahead and line this up with what I have on my last list, which is the fighting game things. So, I actually bought a fight stick again this past week.
True.
Because, again, with Mike, I haven't been playing a lot of fighting games, but we have been playing a bunch of Third Strike in our downtime.
You've been playing a good amount of fighting games, considering how little free time you have, I would say.
I mean, but most of it is just Third Strike, that's the thing.
Sure.
Like, I want to... Like, I bought Marvel. I want to play Marvel, but I just don't have the time to do...
to learn the Marvel combos, yeah.
Oh, don't remind me. And I also have 5, which I don't have the same hate boner as he does, but like... But I might actually... I've been wanting to play it again, but I want to wait till I get a fight stick so I can actually, crack that in.
Right.
Because I've been playing with pad these last couple months, which is not really... Nowadays, it's not really that much of a problem to play with pad, but like... If you have it itching to play with a fight stick, go for it. Again, like the one I bought, like $120, but there's one going on, which will probably be... There was one going for like $100 right now, which is the one I'm getting.
You can buy really cheap ones for like 62 or 80.
Just always ask around if you're curious, that shows you a good stick for a decent price. But yeah, but like plus in 2018, all the new announcements for fighting games, it's been pretty dope to see the genre pretty much come back to life again. Because, like, you mentioned Third Strike, but back when that game originally came out, no one really gave too much of a shit about it.
Right.
When 3 came out.
I agree. No one did give a shit about it, period.
So, that was the last Street Fighter for what feels like ages before 4 came out and revived the genre.
Hey, are you, like, scratching your mic or something? Sorry, I had to mention really quick.
Oh, I was you're probably just sharing the stand, or that my foot against the table. Anyway. But yeah, like, when 3 came out, like, despite being, like, this awesomely animated game with, like, some good music and technique, even if it's unbalanced as fuck, it's still fun. No one gave a damn because they didn't have all these characters people remember.
Right, and then even after they added the characters that people remember, people still didn't give a fuck because it was too late. Mm-hmm. And also, it doesn't really play like Street Fighter 2 or Alpha at all.
No. Plus, this is around the time, like, arcades in America were, like, slowly dying again.
Yep.
So...
And it came to home consoles back then, but it came to literally the most dead home console, which is Dreamcast, instead of the PlayStation 2, which is the one...
No, it did come to PS2. It came in the other anniversary.
It came to PS2 in Japan.
Was it only Japan only?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, then never mind it. So, people don't realize they have announced a collection for Street Fighter, which will come out in May of next year. And this will be the first time both of us will be able to play Third Strike legally on PC.
True. In America. In
America.
And I mean, that's good because you can play ranked, and hopefully they will put it in the training mode, which did exist in Third Strike Online.
So, I did some more research. I know this isn't news, but I did some more research. The people who are doing the port are the ones who did the Mega Man ports.
Okay.
And they've been pretty good at making sure I'm getting like all like.
I haven't played those, but I believe you. Yeah.
People are saying they're like really good ports of the NES stuff.
That's why I like.
And they also did the Disney stuff as well.
Nice. Oh, the Disney stuff I know for a fact is good. A lot of people like.
Yeah, they did those ports as well. It's the same. Digital Eclipse It's a company.
Nice.
So they'll be in charge of that. And they're really good with feedback, so if you like bitch at them long enough, they will probably get back at you.
Do it. Put in training mode, you nerds. Make sure that I can see Oro's penis when he does a sweep.
I mean, there's a sprite viewer. You get your chance.
Oh, I can't wait to the sprite view Oro's penis. Can't wait.
Oh no.
I'm gonna show you that frame later, Miko, of Oro's penis.
That is someone's avatar.
Why do you have to do that to me?
What, you don't like boy penis?
I mean, it's Street Fighter though.
I mean, it is old man penis, but
yellow old man penis.
Whatever, it's like a Simpsons penis. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh god. Yeah, I can't wait. This will be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. I would say, again, like as you said, playing on pad or stick really doesn't matter that much, but it doesn't surprise me that you wanted to switch to stick because you go to arcades. You are one of the few people who I know who actually frequently actually goes to arcades. And when you go to an arcade and play those games, you can't play them on pad. You're playing them on some sort of stick apparatus. So
I mentioned this before. There's a place called Free Play that does have a Third Strike machine.
Right.
But the problem is they have the old Capcom button layout.
Right.
Or like it's 2x3, but it's all straight.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being curvy.
Curvy is better, although I will say most sticks, or there are many sticks that do come with the straight config as well. Curvy is much better though.
Yeah, the one I bought is curvy.
Do you like? Sorry. Do you like the what I would call light curve, which is probably what you got, or do you like the fucked up Neo Geo curve, as I like to call it?
I think I could probably do either one. I think the one at the other arcade, which is the round one, has those for their Nestica machines.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like your fucking pinky is like next to your thumb. Because it's so curved, that's the good shit right there.
I have to look it up just to be sure. But I've done both curves, and I could probably do fine with either one.
I mean, you could do fine with the other one, but it's just stupid. That's all.
It's just whenever when it's like the old fashioned like straight like grid style.
Yeah, it's brutal. It sucks. I feel you.
Because I went to another one that was here at Plano, which is called Quarter Arcade, which has a bunch of custom cabinets with like they're all set like that.
Right.
And like playing Alpha 3 with that button style as Dash.
Woof. Oof. Yeah.
It's rough.
Also, give me your controversial opinion while we're talking about this really quickly.
DBZ Fighters. Looks fun, but I don't really care for Arxis games. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, I just don't click with me.
I feel you, but hear me out. It's gonna play kind of like Marvel, probably, judging from the system mechanics and stuff. There's definitely some Arxis mechanics in there, but it's going to be kind of Marvel-esque, definitely, especially because of the assists. And also, it's DBZ!
Dude, I'm like the only one in this, I think me and I would say Pins, but he knows more about, I guess I don't want to keep up. I keep up with Super.
Right, that's my point. You should be super hyped for this.
I should be. I feel like Kappa walking might killed it for me.
Fuck Kappa. Kappa sucks.
Well, yeah, but for fuck's sake, they're like, just trying to find good conversation for fighting games, and then fucking this shit pops up.
They have Adult Gohan and Teen Gohan.
I mean, Teen Gohan's the best Gohan.
There's 4 Gokus in that game. 3. 4? There might be 4. There's definitely 3.
There might be 4. That's the rumor.
There's at least 3 Gokus in that game.
I mean, Cell is pretty much a Goku.
You can have a team that's just entirely Gokus.
Yeah? What's
wrong with that? That's some good shit right there.
Like, I feel like the game isn't really the problem with me. I think it's just the community itself. Because I'm trying to ignore it and just play.
You'll find your way. Don't worry. When that game comes out, you're going to be like, oh shit, Goku did a Kamehameha, and then you're going to want to play it. I promise.
Yeah, let me boot up Budokai 3.
Oh, no.
Did I have that collection?
PS3? Alright, Miku.
Budokai 1.
What?
Budokai 1's still fun in a weird
You
shaky
guys
way.
started talking about fighting games, so I zoned out.
Yeah, that's fine. Kick us
out. No, that's fine. Do it.
Okay. Some things I was disappointed by this year. Let's start with Trackmania 2 Lagoon.
Let's start with the state of American politics, and then we'll move to
No, we're not going to talk about that.
Please.
No. Positivity all up in here.
This isn't really positivity, though, but yeah.
Shut up.
This This is just
Alright.
just Ubisoft shaming. This is fine.
Yeah, so Trackmania.
Ubisoft. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
Yes, it is.
they own the people who make Trackmania now.
Yes,
They own
Oh,
Naughty
God,
Dog.
I forgot
They have
about
since-
they've owned them forever.
They have since before Trackmania 2 Stadium came
Right,
out.
since that fucking announcement where they. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I forgot that happened.
Yup. So yeah, so earlier this year they released Trackmania 2 Lagoon, which is essentially, if you don't know anything about Trackmania 2, it is a game where you get in a car and you basically do time trials of a track over and over and over until you get it perfect.
Do it fast,
And-
idiot.
Yeah, and you could play it single player, but what the fuck are you doing? If you need that online play where you're like racing against people, you try and get the best time, and there's like a bad dubstep remix playing.
I need to see ghosts at all times.
Yeah,
And to see all the ghosts
so,
hit a wall.
So, the way they structured Trackmania 2 compared to the first game, like, really fucked it up. So, in the first game, it was Trackmania 1 Stadium. The stadium environment was free, and if you bought the game, you got the other environments. But because it was the free one, that's the one that everybody played.
Right.
Yeah.
When they released Trackmania 2, they said, fuck you, we're gonna release individual games for the different environments. So they released Trackmania Valley, Trackmania Stadium, and Trackmania Canyon?
Canyon was the first one. Then I think
Yeah, I don't remember what order they came out in, but like everybody kind of landed on Classic Stadium as being the one that gets played a lot.
Basically, this is the equivalent of what they have done with fighting games for a very long time that's bad, where they go, okay, Street Fighter 2... They actually didn't do this before, but they go, okay, Street Fighter 2 is out, and then they go, okay, now it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo. You can't play with your friends who are playing Street Fighter 2 anymore. You have to get Turbo if you want to play with them, because that's the new one.
Mm-hmm.
technically you're not wrong because like each version had its own different kind of physics.
And it's its own product, more importantly. It doesn't tie into the overall product. So
yeah.
every
but
time
even
you
though
want
they
to play with people, either they get the new one or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, so essentially what they have done is they have splintered the player base in a very, very unfortunate way.
They shattered
And-
it, really.
Yeah, and they made a mistake again, which is they released Trackmania 2 Lagoon. So there was what was it called? Trackmania.
So there's Trackmania. I just want to be clear. I think if I remember correctly, it's Trackmania 2 Stadium, right? Is one. Then there's
Yeah, so that's the
Trackmania
one
2
everybody plays.
Canyon.
That's the other
Yes.
one.
Then there's Trackmania 2 Lagoon, and these are all separate products that you have to.
Yes.
You also left out Trackmania 2 Valley.
I forgot that was even one of them, but I believe you.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a thing.
So these are all separate products.
Boy, that's
Is it-
fucking
But
shitty.
they all come out of the same launcher. There's like still
Oh,
the
that's
Mania
even
Planet
worse.
launcher.
Give me a break.
So it's like, yeah. So Trackmania 2 Lagoon is essentially they released Trackmania Turbo not that long ago, which had all the magnetic track pieces, and I always thought that was a really cool idea. Trackmania 2 Lagoon introduces those track pieces, but also everybody just plays Stadium, so nobody is playing Trackmania 2 Lagoon, which means nobody's making maps for it, and nobody... When you go and you see, like, there's like 2 people on the Giant Bomb Trackmania 2 Lagoon server at any given time. That's the only server that has any people on it.
2 people.
Even,
huh?
like, people don't, it's not even that people stop playing, it's that people don't own this game.
They didn't even buy it in the first place, right?
I mean, Stadium.
I'm ranked number 5 in New Jersey,
Ooh.
and I'm bad at Trackmania.
We should do number 1.
So this is
Champion.
secretly a good thing for you, is what you're telling me.
I mean, it's like, if I cared about that shit,
You're
sure.
you're now a top
but I
5
don't.
Trackmania player.
Yeah, but I don't care.
That's all I'm hearing.
I don't care, and I want, like... The magnetic track pieces in Lagoon are so cool, and you can do so much cool shit with it. It's just, like... It's a tremendous shame that, like, it did not take off.
They're so cool, but unfortunately no one knows that because nobody bought it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wanna have just text all over my screen, and a bad dubstep remix of a Katy Perry song.
Excuse me, a
and that's
good
all I
dubstep
need.
remix of a Katy Perry song?
Well, okay, that's subjective, but it's bad.
A good
It's
dubstep
zero.
remix of a bad Katy Perry song. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, Trackmania is something I always just, like, kind of play a couple rounds of every once in a while, because it's, like, kind of relaxing, and, like, I have to do Stadium.
It's
because
zen.
Nobody's playing Lagoon.
It's zen as fuck,
Yeah.
that game.
Mhm.
Yeah. Trackmania 2 Lagoon also had this weird thing where, like, your cars could turn on a dime, which is a little
That's
weird. Like
different.
the turning radius was very, very tight.
Weird.
That's what I mean. Like each like different game has a different kind of physics.
Yeah, each different Trackmania 2 environment. So the cars are different.
That's even worse. Why would you do that?
So, but everybody in Trackmania 2 Stadium, the cars handle identically. Like, my Trackmania 2 Stadium car is a custom skin that is just Sonic the Hedgehog, and his legs...
Oh my god.
His legs are wheels, so it's like
rotate?
a cartoon.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
been a thing since the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish Trackmania 2 was better,
It's a shame.
I mean,
just in general.
yeah, I'll give you that.
Across the whole thing.
Because Stadium is the cheapest one of the bunch, isn't it?
It's free.
I don't know.
No, it's
No, I
it's not
thought
free.
Stadium was free.
no.
In Trackmania 1, it was free.
Okay.
I mean, isn't it still?
I mean, Trackmania 1, it's still free. I don't know, because you have to buy Trackmania 2. There's no free option.
Yeah,
I think I own
wasn't it-
Trackmania 2 Stadium. I think I did.
Yeah,
play
like
that.
Stadium is the cheapest one. I think I remember.
Maybe. I would have to check. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, Winter Sale's almost here.
What else
It'd
did
be
you
like five-
find disappointing?
Golf Story,
I know, you told us before.
which is also a shame, because I really wanted to enjoy that game. There's a lot of cool shit going on story-wise, but it's like, man, those golf mechanics are bad.
Like,
And you don't notice it until you're, like, at the fourth, like, area, when the courses start getting difficult.
have you played that game again since we last spoke about how it got bad?
Not really.
Wow. That's...
Because
So
I
it got
bought
bad.
everybody's... No, because, well, what happened was, I bought everybody's golf, and I played a shit ton of that, and that kind of scratched my golf itch for a while.
right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game.
Yeah, so, the problem with Golf Story is that, the story and the characters are very good. The golf is very, very bad, because it is top-down, and you are locked to, like, north. Like, the camera doesn't rotate, and there's just an arrow in the top right that tells you the slope, but there's no numbers associated with it. It's just an arrow pointing
It's
in the
just like,
direction.
oh, yep, it's gonna... There's a slope here. That's basically what it is.
Think of it
Yeah,
like
so
a
for the
more-
first 3 areas, that is okay. You can get by. When you get to area 4 and the slopes on the green start getting a little bit more challenging, it's no longer good enough. And it's like, it does not make any sense.
And you basically just can't putt at the end, and it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm fucked if I want to
Yeah,
have
it
this
just-
score.
It essentially makes putting impossible unless you're some kind of like magical putting wizard.
So I actually picked this game up for Switch, and I haven't played it yet. So I'm weirdly not excited is the wrong word, but I'm interested to see what you're talking about because I wanted to find.
You'll
out.
understand. Because, like, you know how when you do putting in most other golf games and it gives,
Gives
you,
you
like,
the grid.
with
Yes,
the,
the thing
with
that
the
you
dots
should have.
rolling down. Yeah, this doesn't do that.
Man,
so you
that's
just
really bad.
you have to go by that single arrow in the top right.
And does the arrow change at all depending on how steep it is, or is it just like it's in this direction? That's it.
I couldn't tell.
Okay,
So
that's brutal.
yeah, it's a little brutal. I wish that game was a lot better than it is because it is a really neat idea.
Yeah, it sounded like a neat idea.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
might actually sit down and try to finish it one day. Let's see. 'Cause, like, I bought a couple. I mean, I gotta finish Shovel Knight. I gotta actually play the Snake game, which name I can't remember now.
Snake Pass.
Snake Pass.
Snake Pass.
I don't know why we both remember that instantly, but we did.
And I had to play everybody's golf. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And then World of Final Fantasy. I had to play that too.
WAF is pretty good.
Yeah, I hear, but again, RPG. It was $20 at GameStop. I just got it that day.
That is worth $20, IMO.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a similar segment really quickly to Miko.
Okay.
Which is love hate. I don't have disappointments. I have things that I love, but also hated this year. So,
Okay.
Destiny 2 is a game that has extremely scummy microtransactions that didn't exist in the first game. A god-awful grind after a certain point that is just... It's terrible. Like, there's no reason that should be in the game. And once there's more DLC out, it won't be. So, people who had to go through it went through it for basically no reason, except that fuck you if you want to be on the bleeding edge of content. The DLC fiasco is really bad. Like, with them essentially cutting people out of content they had already bought for the main game, which they still did some of, to be clear. they basically locked people out of doing the prestige versions of the raid and the nightfall, which are two big events in Destiny. And now you can do the raid again, the prestige raid, because the power level requirement isn't too high for people who don't own the DLC. But you're fucked if you want to do the prestige nightfall. You just can't. And there's a ton of stuff that there's no way to. They just lock you out of so much shit if you don't have the DLC, and it sucks. I have it because I'm terrible and I bought it, but yeah, it's really bad. However, at the same time, it was one of my most enjoyable multiplayer experiences of the entire year. Like, the 2 times I did the raid were dope. The raid in that game, raids in a first-person shooter type game sort of setting are just so much fun. Like, I've done real raids in or rather not real raids, but I've done raids in like a real MMO style game before, like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But they're just it's so much about just like play your role and do the thing that you're supposed to do. Don't pull aggro, stand here, done. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever done that, Miko or Game Bun. I don't know if you've ever taken part in like an MMO raid, but
no,
they suck, dude. Like, it's honestly like, I mean, there's an excitement to doing it in the sense of like you're completing this hard content, but the mechanics of it are so boring. And in a game like Destiny, it's actually fun because it's basically just like, hey, do a really challenging first-person shooter thing, right? That requires like some teamwork and like talking to get through it. And yeah, like I've done the raid twice, I think, maybe 3 times, and every time I did it, it was super fun. And I like that game. The gameplay of Destiny, the core gameplay is still so good, but every surrounding piece of it sucks, basically. On a related note, this is a game that's related to a game you were talking about earlier, Game One. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
The 2 means it's double.
The 2 means it's double the awful anime shit.
The sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles.
The sequel to The Power of the
Kind
Monado. It's really
because
not.
There was one in the middle.
Yeah.
Nah.
But also just, I mean, like, it has nothing to do with the first game. But really, well, it kind of, whatever. Anyway. It's so good, and it's like the perfect PS2 era JRPG, yet it's not on a PS2, right? It's on a handheld that I can walk around with and play. And, like, the fucking... Oh, my gosh. The voice acting cast in this, I talked about it before in a previous episode, but they are fucking perfect. The line reads are, like, almost... Some of them are, like, almost PS1 era bad, but, like, in an entertaining way. And they're all just, like, super, super Welsh, English, Australian people. And, like, I'm sorry if you're European and you don't think that's funny, but it is. Like, just the way that the accents are set up are really funny and great. Like, genuinely, like, I enjoy them. Not just, like, you know, only enjoying them ironically. Like, they're really good. And it's so fun, and there's so many systems and great shit in it, but at the same time, it's, like, so fucking dense and doesn't explain itself and its mechanics well. I mean, oh my god. The amount of tutorials you go through in this game. Like, yo, you thought the tutorials in Kingdom Hearts 2 were long? You were fucking incorrect. Hit me up when you're at hour 15 in this game and you're still getting tutorial messages about how to do main combat mechanics. Because they haven't introduced them yet. So, it's brutal. And then, on top of that, it has some of the most just egregiously gross, terrible character design and anime trope shit I've seen in a game coming out in America in fucking ever. I mean, oh, dude. Some of the character design.
Isn't one of the designers a hentai artist?
There are literal hentai artists who design characters in the game, but that's not even the problem. The problem is just the main female lead character has fucking tits that have zero gravity to them, for one. And for two, they are literally like bigger than her entire head, each one of them. And it's just like,
Anime
why?
titties gets too
You don't
anime
need this.
titty.
She's wearing hot pants, and she also has like a thong thigh strap at the same time. Like, it's just, dude, like, can't you just make a regular fucking character in an anime game? But no, they can't. And it's awful, and I hate that part of it. But the other parts of it are so good that it still makes me want to play a shitload of it. So it's such like a struggle playing that game because it's like I feel like guilty playing it because some of that stuff is so bad, and yet, yeah. And there's like a hot tub scene. Like, oh man, it goes on and on. Like I cannot hit you with these anime tropes hard enough. There is a scene where really quickly, there is a character who has multiple personalities and can switch between the personalities at any time. And when they do that, it also changes their appearance. And at one point, that character wakes up in bed with the main character, and it's a girl. Wakes up in bed with the main character, switched, and has her personality switched, gets anime mad at him because she was in bed with him, even though she's in the boys' room, throws shit at him, leaves, and then later switches back to the other personality and laughs about it with the main character. That happened. And it's like, fucking
What?
fuck.
Fucking what?
Yeah, I can't, dude. I can't, okay? But it's really good. It's also good. I don't know. So much love hate. And finally, I'm just gonna say love hate. Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is maybe the only Sonic game that I've played that I found fun at all, outside of the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure. The bonus game in that rules, where you chase the UFO. That is what Sonic Racing should be. And they should make an entire game that's like that. Also, the base gameplay in that game, when you're not playing as Sonic, is actually okay. It's not too bad. Knuckles and Tails control pretty good. But the problem is Sonic still controls like Sonic in a 2D Sonic game. And that makes that game unplayable because Sonic games control like garbage. And it's really bad. And I just hate Sonic games so much. And yet I actually played a good amount of that game. And yeah, some of the bosses are absolute garbage. But other than that, there are a lot of good things about that game, despite the fact that it's a Sonic game. So those are my love hates.
All right. Oh wait, you have more.
Well, you forgot one.
No, I don't need to do this one, but I'll just really quickly mention it. You may have heard of or seen somewhere on Twitter a shirtless bald man sitting in a big black pot, like a kettle, sort of. No, not
I
a
wouldn't
kettle.
say
A cauldron. Thank you. Like a witch's cauldron, and he has a sledgehammer, and he's hurling himself through a level.
I wouldn't say.
And his name is Gerald, and this is The Witcher 4.
Oh God.
And his name is Toddy, and he is Australian.
The Witcher 4.
And he is the fourth Witcher. Yeah, true. And that game is called, the game that's from is called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. What is a way to actually really describe this game? Like,
maybe a good way to, so Bennett Foddy is the creator of QWOP.
Yes, true.
And what's the climbing one called?
GURP,
I forget.
I think.
GURP.
Yeah.
Yeah, GURP.
Isn't it? Wait, the previous climbing one?
No, not the one you're thinking of. Not Wacky Mountain or whatever the fuck it was called. GURP.
I'm saying like sexy hiking. Was the
Yeah,
other
it's not sexy hiking. GURP is the one.
No. These are like ancient Flash games, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Like I know QWOP. It's the other one.
GURP is your rock climbing basically, and you have to use the keyboard to do it. Yeah, he's the creator of those games, which are like sort of their appeal is the difficulty in controlling them, kind of like learning how to control them. Is sort of part of the appeal. And like that's sort of like getting the mechanics down is the appeal of those games, and I would say that's part of this game too. But also, this game just has commentary by the guy who made it. And some of it is like actual sort of game dev, like explaining stuff about the game commentary. But some of it is really, at least to me, seems to be clearly him kind of subtly taunting you every time you fuck up in that game. And it drives me fucking crazy Because the entire game, the whole purpose of that game is that you're going up. You climb up with this guy using the sledgehammer. And there's many points in that game where there's intentionally a place that if you do it wrong, you fall all the way back down to the bottom, right?
Okay, so, so since the game came out on Steam recently, it's been on Humble for a while.
Yes, true.
But I have only watched people stream it.
Yeah.
Because this is like, I hate to describe this as a clickbait game because there's more effort put into it.
Right.
But I've seen people stream it, and I watched a compilation of people playing it. And some of the trying to climb the mountain, or in general just whatever is in your way, that sledgehammer is. Just watching it is frustrating.
Yeah, so like, I think a lot of people are streaming it because it's like one of those games that you get frustrated at, and therefore it's like, oh, content. Like, I'll get mad. Audience loves to watch me get mad. Done. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But judging by his commentary in the thing and what he's saying and stuff like that, it's not supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be that you learn to deal with and appreciate returning to step one and getting better, you know? And that, okay, well, I got further that time, or I didn't get further that time, but I learned something or whatever, right? And he talks a lot about that in the commentary, where he talks about like being an artist in that sense as well. So it's really interesting, but at the same time, it's fucking the little taunts that he does, like playing little songs about falling down, or like saying, "Oh, you'll get it next time," when you just drop the whole way, is so fucking like, you could just tell he's being passive aggressive, and it just it gets me right in the spot that makes me so mad. But it is really satisfying to like learn and get better at that game. Like, the more I play it, the more I feel like, and especially like if you like kind of give it a break and then come back to it after a while, you feel like, oh shit, like I'm getting how to move now. Like, I get it. Or like a part that you couldn't get past before becomes just like trivial, right? Where you're just like, oh yeah, you just do this and you get through it. So it has that satisfaction to it, but at the same time, every time you fall down all the way, you just want to Alt F4. There's nothing more you want to do when you fall down all the way than just go, I'm out. Fuck this. I'm fucking done.
That's actually how I felt about the original Dark Souls a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
Was every time I died, I'm like, fuck this.
I can definitely understand that, especially in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it took a while for Dark Souls to really click with me.
It's like, I mean, it's a very like classic game design thing of like, especially like when I say classic, I mean like, you know, really classic, right? Like, you know,
like the quarter eating
arcade shit, right? Where it's like,
to like keep at it till you eventually get over the hurdle.
Yeah, and
then see
you
how
either
far
get
you
better
go.
or you don't, and if you don't, then you go back to the beginning and do it again, idiot. Yeah, and it's really interesting, and I think the commentary especially is really interesting in it, and it makes me want to listen to the commentary, and then I can't because I can't get further, and it drives me fucking insane. So, love hate. Very interesting game though, and I recommend checking it out for sure.
And again, people, it's now on Steam.
It is now on Steam. That is true.
All these video games that we've talked about now available to buy on wherever.
Nope, Third Strike is not yet available to buy on Steam. And neither is Destiny 2, and neither is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Well, you buy or Mario,
or Zelda, or Metroid.
Well, you buy them wherever.
Idiot. Yeah, or Neo Yokio.
Yeah. You buy that on Steam, definitely.
Okay, cool. I will then.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to like close us out, Miko, or something, or do you have another one, Game Bun?
I got nothing.
I think we're done.
I mean, you had like a little just cutie like, hey, next year, but
yeah. So here's some things I'm looking forward to next year. A to G to Q, which is actually in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I am also looking forward to that.
I am intending to move out of my parents' house very soon, in like March or April. That should be good.
Yeah, and sorry if you don't mind me interrupting. The audience can look forward to something related to AGDQ possibly as well. Which there's a non-zero chance that we may be doing a car cast. We'll see how that goes. But on the drive there's a non-zero chance that may happen.
Well, so it depends on how bad the audio comes out.
Right. It really...
Essentially.
It's not a question of whether we're going to do it. It's a question of how terrible...
We're going to record it. Is it going to be postable? Is, I guess, how that's going to work out.
But maybe. You know what? Even if it's really terrible, maybe we'll put it out anyway, just so you can suffer through it if you really want.
Yeah, who knows? Where was I? I lost my place. So,
move out.
My job brought me on full time this year, so I get paid time off now.
Which means you can go places and do things.
Yeah, so I'm strongly considering going to a furry convention.
Yeah, you gonna fuck?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna rule it out.
Anyone listening?
You can't see it, but I'm doing that thing where I hold my pinky and my thumb to my face, and I'm doing call me.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were doing that thing where you take your penis out and then you shake it around like, hey, helicopter.
I'm doing that thing where I shove my entire fist in my mouth.
Oh, nice.
And that's the Fistmas miracle.
Wow, and you can still talk like that? That's really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I got a big mouth. Anyway, I'm going to be dragging you fuckers into the hit new video game Detroit in a video format. I can't wait for you guys to experience the David Cage, Rage in the David Cage with me.
I think Heavy Rain broke me when I watched someone play it. And
Heavy Rain's like the most palatable of the David Cage games, like by far.
Cage, retire, bitch.
I watched the best. It was Wooly of the Best Friends fame. He was playing through it, and then the game broke him in the end when he gets to the final part.
Well, it's not good.
I have news for you.
I can tell you that
Heavy
right now.
Rain
Yeah,
is
but
pretty bad, but holy shit, compared to Fahrenheit and also what's the
Beyond
Thank
Two
you.
Souls
Beyond-
and Omicron.
Beyond Two?
Okay, no, I remember Omicron. I watched that, and then that was
Compared to that game's pretty good. You got that cool VR thing in it. You can shout Jason if you feel like it at the press of a button.
You could.
I think I'm ready for Detroit.
Give me a
Make your peace with it now, because it's coming out in the spring, I think.
Nico. Give me a prediction of a button press that you'll have in that game that will be really stupid. Not execute.
Well,
it can't be execute.
Yeah, I was gonna say we saw him shoot fucker in the head. So,
I have a prediction if you don't have one.
Okay, so press square to liberate the androids.
Are you ready for mine? Press
Sure.
circle to turn yourself off. It's gonna happen,
Okay, but
I'm
if
sure.
But if you do that in Nier Automata, then that's a game over.
So maybe David Kaj will have more for you. Maybe David Kaj will go where Nier Automata didn't. Oh god, it feels terrible to say that.
Also, David Cage games traditionally do not have failure states.
Well, that's not entirely true. There were sort of some in Heavy Rain. So, though in fact, you could die.
Yeah, but they never led to a game over though. Like the game would continue.
No, there's a couple where you can just die, like during the puzzles.
Yeah, but then the game continues.
Well, the game always
and that character's just dead.
So the game fucking continues when I die as Mario in Mario Odyssey 2. Like, what the fuck
No,
do you
well,
but the fucking story continues, man.
I'll get Mario in here, and he can turn off the android.
It's a failure state if your kid dies, okay? Like, what do you want from me? Anyway. Spoilers.
Who fuck cares? It's fucking Heavy Rain.
Yeah, true.
No, it's Detroit.
No.
In stores soon.
No.
I guess.
Look forward to us being fucking...
Or don't. Or don't look forward to it.
Yeah.
It's really up to you.
So, you guys got anything you're looking forward to?
Not Detroit. Is that an option?
You know what I'm looking forward to?
No.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah.
I actually am looking
Kingdom
forward
Hearts
to
3D, my favorite.
So, I know I haven't posted to you guys, but there's an image that leaked, or supposedly leaked, of a new world. And I can say it. You want me to say it now, or you want me to just say it after the podcast?
Yeah, no, tell me. I want to hear it. But everyone else, fucking kind of spoilers, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how to describe it. I'm not sure if it's actually real or fake.
I mean, just saying a world is in doesn't... People want to hear that.
So one of the images was showing the world of Monsters Inc.
Oh.
Okay.
But you know how so the gimmick with that world is that Sora just tries to just become a monster.
Sora becomes a monster, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like
Wow.
he transforms in that
Holy
world.
shit,
It's just like he
that's
does.
cool.
Because right now we don't know because like the HUD still has like temporary stuff on it. So like again, this is just like we don't know if it's real or not. It's just some screenshot that popped up.
Hey, this is a weird question. I'm sorry, but is Cars Disney?
Pixar.
Yeah,
So,
it's Disney.
Right. So theoretically,
I mean, because technically, theoretically it can, but what the fuck are you gonna do?
turn Sora into a fucking race car. Come on, you know you want that. That's someone's fetish for sure.
Oh no!
I bet if you Google Sora Cars race car, someone has already done this.
Well, okay, so let me clean up your search terms a little bit. Sora Car TF.
What is TF? Oh,
That'll
Yeah.
Oh.
it's an abbreviation.
No, it's cool. I figured it out.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll get you there a lot faster.
I will admit though, Kingdom Hearts 3 has the most Pixar, as in like they actually use Pixar characters for once. We have Toy Story and supposedly Monsters Inc. So anything is possible with this third game.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, also the weird thing is the enemy in that picture. They also showed off as an enemy from Birth by Sleep, which I can't say anymore because that's kind of spoilers. Believe me, this will go on.
I'm sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
I hope Kingdom Hearts 3 is a goddamn mess.
I'm so fucking sorry. I didn't.
Did you look this?
We're all sorry.
No, you don't understand.
Did you actually look up Sora Cars TF?
What are you linking to me?
I see that file name.
Oh my god! Oh, holy shit, it's real! Oh, it's so good!
Yeah. I told you.
Why is his eyes like that? Did he do a lot of weed? What's going on here?
No, I'm so sorry.
Did you actually find another image?
There's a better one.
This is.
Oh no!
It's just going on the docket.
I wasn't gonna post links because this was kind of
well.
my god.
We need this one is important.
Well, okay.
Why does Sora have a mohawk?
Oh, I found the big. I found the big version.
Why is Donald like that though?
I don't know, but I found the big version so you can see it better.
Oh.
Oh man, that's
Holy
good.
shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but people need to see
Holy
that.
shit! Oh my
I'm
god!
so fucking happy this exists.
All
I'm
right,
looking forward to this happening in real life.
Oh. Cars 3 would be a World Kingdom Hearts 2, 3 like Winnie the Pooh World. It's just a racing minigame.
No, it's gonna be you fucking run. You are a car and you fight, and there's car combos. It's gonna be dope.
Holy shit!
Well, I mean, there are car heartless.
Cartless. All right. Well,
That's
All right.
Speaking of which,
That's
we have
Fistmas spectacular,
oh,
as far as I know.
rest in peace,
So
Maggie.
before we go, actually, I just want to ask you guys something.
No.
How do you think we're doing with the podcast? Are we doing a good job?
You're not asking us, right?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah, I think we're doing all right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe nobody likes it, but I think it's okay.
I like it. I think we're doing good.
Yeah.
But what do you, the people, think? What would you like to see?
Don't at me.
Oh. What would you like to see more of? Why don't you at me? I said my at earlier, so listen earlier if you want to know, idiot. I'm sorry.
Please don't call the listeners idiots. They're all I have left.
True.
Please. All right, so I guess we can end the podcast. So, so you can go to burndownthesandcastle.info and get all your burning needs done. Just click around. This is the number one website to go on the internet with.
The number one podcast in China.
I don't think that's true.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow us on Twitter. You can go at BDTSC.
You can send us an email or
Or go on the website and do it that way also.
For the
because there's a topic,
question.
and I'm not going to say it because it's probably never going to come out.
I mean, it'll eventually come out.
So once finals are over, we can help you edit and get caught up.
But the topic is on Twitter. It's
weird billboards that you've seen in person. Do not care if you've seen it online. Don't bother.
That's just online. I look at online every day.
Yeah. Everybody goes online.
I want to see it offline.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't take a picture.
Do take a picture if you can.
If you can. If you can't,
but
that's
don't
fine.
Kill yourself. You know what? I think we said this last time. Anyway.
Yes, we did. Anyway, rate us on iTunes, rate us on Google Play, tell your friends, tell all your friends, please tell your friends. I need more listeners.
Tell your friends.
I've no listeners.
If you don't have friends, tell strangers.
Yeah. Just print out a business card that says these nerds talk about video games and just like shower them on the street.
If you don't know any friends or strangers, draw Sora Cars TF, post it on DeviantArt, and then in the description mention the podcast.
In the description, link to the podcast. Oh my god.
How do we do with this? All right.
Well,
We out.
Yeah, we're out. I have to go TF into a car. I'll catch you all next time.
Ugh.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ugh.